Get the second Platoon pops in since he's usually last. Because let me just start off from there.
Yeah.
Or chat. It's the first 3 minutes of every stream.
Yeah, when chat's complaining, we're normally backstage just having the show without the chat.
Yeah,
Oh,
we do this. We like having the show when no one's present, and then just going over the same points again for a second time for everybody else's benefit.
I know, fuck, man. Big podcast before you guys even got here.
Yeah.
Anyway, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Not enough has been said yet about Jurassic World and the Ironheart thing, so we're doing those again today. Yay!
Yeah.
2 excellent pieces of media that have dropped within the last week and a bit, I think. Ironheart has officially wrapped up. Did its last 3 episodes at the beginning of this week. Then Jurassic World, whatever it's called, that came soon after.
Afterbirth.
That's
Abortion.
the one, Afterbirth. Jurassic World Abortion. Yeah, I fucking wish. So yes, yeah, we get to go through, and Reaper gets to go through the whole Ironheart thing gloriously from the beginning because he wasn't here last week.
Yeah, that was well, as I said before, I had a horrendous infection and my jaw swelled up, so it looked like Rachel Zegler in Snow White.
I told him that would be the day for a face reveal, man. But
Good sling blade.
he soldiered through and got all the episodes done. Good man.
My God, what a cunt. That's all I can say. Just finishing it.
Oh my God. I'm only 25 minutes into this movie. I was watching it right before the show. So
Ooh.
I started it like an hour before the show, but it was so dumb I was already writing. I wasn't even planning on writing. I had to. I was compelled to. Because even the way it starts in the first minute is ridiculous.
This that gets you right off the bat with the stupidity. This how do you even want to approach that subject?
I guess, I mean, just laying it out for like anyone in the chat who hasn't seen this glorious film yet, or seen any of the many streams about this glorious film yet, most of which I've been on at some point in the last 2 days. What happens at the beginning of this movie to get everything rolling is there is another InGen facility again, because there's more of those. They're doing experiments on mutant dinosaurs again, because we need more of those. And then a guy eats a Snickers. He drops the wrapper. The Snickers wrapper goes into a door vent. The door vent sparks. A security error appears on the computer. And as you want to happen in any top secret science lab with massive dinosaurs you can't let escape, whenever there is a minor security glitch, all the doors automatically open themselves. And so the movie begins because a guy dropped a Snickers wrapper, and this apparently is chaos theory now. For fuck's sake,
Incredible.
Chaos theory.
It's slowly. We were just talking offline that like they had an entire character in the first one dedicated to showing how something like this can fall apart with all the security protocols they've taken, and it actually made sense. They took the time to set it up, and they slowly have made it stupider and stupider and stupider. Till there was one, I don't even remember which movie at this point. The guy gets into the cage to get a fucking tooth for his experiment, thinks it's sleeping.
Oh, that's Fallen Kingdom. Yeah.
Yeah. But then we've got to the point where a Snickers wrapper, like, are you kidding? I couldn't believe it. Even after
it's like Final Destination, man. It's like death coming for him.
It's pathetic.
Product placement was the end all be all of that guy. It was
the premise is just like all they've done. They've taken basically the worst elements from the last 3 Jurassic World movies, and that is the premise for the new Jurassic World movie. That's exactly what you want to see. Complete retardation to get the plot going. Then some sort of attempted messaging about, oh yeah, people are bored of dinosaurs now. That's why in Fallen Kingdom, people spent loads of money buying dinosaurs because they're bored of them. And it's why in Jurassic World Dominion, people use dinosaurs as laser-guided weapons is because they're bored of them. And it's why in the first Jurassic World, they created a giant T-Rex mutant hybrid that nobody could see as a new attraction because they're all bored of dinosaurs. For fuck's sake, that's the premise. If you watch Dominion, none of this makes any sense. That movie ends when everyone is like, oh, dinosaurs will live in harmony with the rest of the world now. And then this movie kicks off and it's like, no, but they're all dead. So you have to go to the equator because that's where all the oxygen is. And that's where they live.
It wasn't even true. Like, there's less oxygen at the equator because of the heat. There's actually more oxygen where we are.
Just
But it was like they've made electronic doors worse than just a regular door. A regular door with a normal handle would have been better than that fucking Snickers wrapper malfunction.
Yeah, there's 1,000 ways they could have done that better, but it seems like they choose the stupidest way imaginable every single time. Where it's like you just don't want. It's like they don't want you to take the movie seriously. This one felt almost intentional. You know what I mean? Like a Snickers wrapper. Come on. Like if you were gonna do a parody, it would be something along the lines of that. Not in a serious Jurassic World film. Where
And it was all to
none of
set
these
up
are
a
serious.
scene that because Gareth Edwards is it Gareth Edwards directing this one? I forget. It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think it is. Because like all of that, the Snickers bullshit was to set up a scene that he was stealing from his own Godzilla movie. Because if you'll remember at the beginning of the Godzilla 2014, there's the bit where like they go down into wherever the fuck, the nuclear reactor, and there's a door between them, and there's the two nice scientists who like each other, and they get trapped on opposite sides of the door, and they can't open the door because if they open the door, everyone will die. The same scene is in this movie. Scientist goes in, Snickers wrapper gets it, door closes, scientist trapped on either side. They try to open the door. They realize they can't open the door because everyone will die. It's traumatic and sad, and we don't know any of these people's names, so nobody gives a fuck. It's just, it begins by stupidity and stealing. We could be talking about Ironheart again.
Seriously, it's and at least in the Godzilla movie, we at least have Bryan Cranston's acting to carry the scene, and we know that's his wife. Like they didn't have a lot of time together, but you don't need a lot of motivation there, and it was just a way better version of that idea. But this movie was, like you said, a shit version of so many concepts we've already seen. It was like I've said with you, along with you, for the last 2 years, you can't get worse than Dominion. I don't think it's possible, but you can definitely get more boring and like worthless and like vapid to the like. At least Dominion had things to laugh at and things to point at and stuff to talk about. I don't even know what to say about this. I honestly feel like I'd have more to say about this movie if I never saw it, which it shouldn't even be possible.
Well, to give an indication, like normally there's enough bullshit in a bad movie that I will devote an entire video to how much bullshit there is in one movie. Having watched this film, the title of my video for this was going to be, Jurassic World Rebirth, fucking shite finds a way, or whatever it was going to be. The video title has now morphed and expanded to The Jurassic World Franchise Needs to Die.
Yeah.
Because it's not
that was
just
my
this
title,
film.
you bastard.
Oh, you fuck. Well, you'll get your video done first, so you'll have that title. I'll have to come up with a fucking new one. Because it's just...
I won't steal it.
You can watch all of these movies. They're all terrible in some way. They all make Jurassic Park 2 and 3 look good by comparison, which is a real achievement because they're not good films, but they're so much better than these in terms of the way that they're made. But the entire thing, and you'll get like the end of this movie. I've already seen people say it doesn't matter because children like it, and it doesn't matter what did you expect because only one of these movies has been good. But it's like, when does that excuse start? Why is only one of these movies good, and why does that excuse all the rest of them being shit? And why do you then say, so I enjoyed it anyway? Like, if you like any of these films, you're a moron. I don't like you.
Yeah, you're a part of the problem. It's serious. Like, it's saying that half jokingly, but it's true. We're getting farther and farther away from what made the first one special. And if you ask a group of Jurassic Park fans to explain the difference between the first one and all the rest, I'd be very surprised if you get a coherent answer and like a substantive one, because it's just dinosaur time since the second one all the way through here. Like it's been years now. And it's really frustrating because the first one has so much to say, so much to offer, and it's one of my all-time favorite films. And the fact that we haven't even gotten close to it when you've had so many opportunities, but all the budget that these films have, it's pretty pathetic that we're here staring at a pigeon and Black Widow when for all the stupid, all the ideas they could have went with.
Just to give you like the pigeon thing, right? So someone at InGen had the great idea, even after the Jurassic Park movies had happened, they thought, you know what velociraptors need? Wings. That'll be a good park attraction.
They fucking tried to redo. They tried to redo the kids in the kitchen scene. They tried to redo that
shot for fucking shot, and they did not earn that bullshit at all.
That might, if I have to go and take a good look at them again, but that might be scene comparison territory, because that was one of the few parts where I'm like, okay, you're pissing me off now. This was just boring nonsense where I can look over when there's a dinosaur on screen, but now you're actually trying to rip off one of my favorite scenes ever. I'll never forget the tension I felt as a child watching that scene. It felt like it was half an hour long.
But one of those moments in like the kitchen scene. So like this has come up, time and time again, but it's worth restating. The kitchen scene works because from the minute Jurassic Park starts, you are told to fear raptors. Before you've seen them, you're told to fear raptors. Like, that is the opening scene. One of them kills someone. You don't even see it on screen, and fuck me, that's terrifying. The most competent guy in the park, the hunter guy, terrified of them, thinks they should all be wiped out. They kill him. Everything you see from the raptors leading up to it, before you see the raptors leading up to it, is raptors are the worst thing in the park. So by the time you get to the kitchen, you think, shit, they're in a room trapped with the worst thing in the park. It's really well constructed. This thing, you see the flying raptors once when they attack actual raptors while a fucking moron is taking a piss and they play it for a joke.
Yep.
And then that's it for them until the kitchen scene. And by that point, I don't care. So stop it. It's not tense.
In the kitchen scene, they establish the intelligence of the raptors as soon as they walk in, showing them communicate and call the other raptor for backup. You also forgot to mention the Alan Grant scene with the nail when he's scaring the kid. So that's another really big part of the setup that they did for the raptors. And in this movie, we have the fucking dude taking a piss, and they establish that these flying raptors come down like fucking Batman and grab a raptor, which is something that can fight back. But when they're attacking humans, they don't do the same thing. They just land next to them so they can go, boo, jump scare.
That is the thing. Someone in chat says they fly now, and they do technically fly now, but the fact that they fly is never relevant in the movie. The only time they interact with the heroes, they go on the ground in a building, so the flying thing is just moot. They just go back and they just act like the normal raptors in a scene stolen from normal raptors.
T-Rexes swim, raptors fly. None of it makes sense. None of it is appealing. It's fucking stupid.
So I haven't gotten to that yet. Obviously, it's they really are velociraptors and they're flying now.
Well, they're fat raptors.
Am I hearing this correct?
They fly
fat
once.
Raptors, and they can fly. Yeah. They've got
are they trying to be like more scientifically accurate by giving them feathers or something?
No.
What they're doing is, so it's you see at the beginning. You remember, like at the beginning of the movie, in the InGen facility, you see that tank full of evil goo and the thing inside it, and the label is Mutadon because we're doing the fucking Monsterverse. That's what these are. These are Mutadon raptors.
Yeah, fat, ugly raptors with wings, pretty much. Like just neck bearded fucking chungo raptors. I don't know. They look like shit.
Even the normal dinosaurs, like the T-Rex, like the T-Rex is supposed to it can't bite through a fucking dinghy. And
thank you, Reaper. But bro, that might be the most convenient thing I've ever seen in my life. T-Rex legit bites into their dinghy. The kid uses the dinghy as like a bait and then gets away. And then they're reuniting as a family. And the dinghy just pops up out of the water. Here you go. Here's your boat so they can get away because there's no other way for them to get away. So they have to give them an invincible dinghy. It's the stupidest shit I've ever seen. That might be the worst part of the movie, just in terms of like a nitpick. Like that's just, what are you doing?
But it feels like there was so many points where it tried to cut costs. Like when that girl washes up ashore with the world's biggest bag, and then the dinosaur comes behind it, and she's getting killed, and all you can see is the top of her head going like that. You can't even see the dinosaur. It just felt like it kept trying to cut costs at every corner.
I feel like we all had
ninja dinosaurs are a massive problem in this. So like that's a ninja dinosaur moment, right? So like the camera is like there's a big pile of supplies, and then the dinosaur behind her, very clearly visible, disappears behind the supply crate from the camera's point of view. And then all of a sudden it's just there and it's grabbed her from behind, even though everyone else can fucking see it. Ninja dinosaur, number one. The T-Rex does a ninja moment. Remember how T-Rexes used to make noise when they walked, and that was a really big part of drumming up tension? Now they can sneak up on you because they're really clever.
But that scene doesn't even make any sense because it hides behind the dinghy when she inflates it, but the family are across the river. They should be able to see where it went.
She can see it from her peripheral vision. They could see it in fucking front of them. But no, because the camera can't see it. That's
how they treat it.
Hidden.
And it's frustrating because one of the most iconic parts of the first movie is the glass of water shaking from the T-Rex footsteps. They established these things. It's a really important part of a giant freaking T-Rex walking towards you. You're going to notice it. But they just forget about that so they can have these ninja scenes every time.
Weight and size is a massive it's so inconsistent in this movie because behind a tiny hill are these gigantic fucking dinosaurs that are so big, he's not even up to its knee. But then you have later on when he climbed down into the water sewer thing, Scarlett Johansson can barely fit, and these dinosaurs 4 times their size can also fit. I'm like, how the fuck does that work?
Yeah, they just flip-flop the rules throughout this movie anytime they need to.
You might think, well, obviously they're not as interested in the real old dinosaurs anymore because we have new dinosaurs. We have the mutant dinosaurs. We have the mutadons. And we have the Retardosaurus Rex as well. That's the big bad of this movie is the Retardosaurus.
It looks like Down syndrome.
Dude,
It does, but it's in 2 scenes. It's in the beginning of the movie, and it is in the end of the movie, and it does nothing of note.
Absolutely nothing. Does it even get a kill? I can't remember. I thought
I think it kills the evil man who is evil because he wants to cure heart disease.
Kills the helicopter. It grabs the helicopter out of midair somehow because the helicopter must have been about like 2 feet off the ground.
And I kept thinking the entire time, like, you've got this dinosaur. It looks like it's got a giant pimple on his fucking head. Like, it just looked like a zit. It was the shittiest design, I think, of like the entire franchise. And this is the one they should be getting the most creative with if we're getting mutants, right?
It's a T-Rex mixed with Bella Ramsey.
Yeah. No, I've heard Ryan Kittlesaurus. I've heard the Bella Ramsey. But for me, I'm just looking at it with my own eyes. I can't pass the fucking pimple. Like, it just looks like a giant pimple that needs to be popped. And like, there's nothing scary about it. Even the dinosaur that they introduced in Jurassic Park 3 that fucked up the T-Rex, that thing at least looked cool. And it was supposed to be based on something that they found that was bigger than a T-Rex. So they were trying to incorporate real paleontology.
Yeah, so it's the Spinosaurus, the Gypticus. Like, it's bigger than it was in real life, just like the raptors were bigger than they were in real life. But like, it was nominally a real dinosaur, whereas most of the ones on this island are either fake mutant things, weird hybrids, and there's a couple of real ones, but they barely feature because like the movie and all of these movies have tried to tell us that people are just bored of dinosaurs. Jurassic World told us we were bored of dinosaurs. Fallen Kingdom kind of said we were bored of dinosaurs because nobody wanted to rescue them from the island, except that also they sold for huge amounts of money. Dominion, I think, forgot that everyone was bored of dinosaurs because they were just terrorist attack weapons now.
But they were gambling.
One decided, back we go, people are bored of dinosaurs again. And the movie proceeds as though this is the case, right? So like, the basic plot is the evilman's plan: cure heart disease. He's an evilman, so obviously curing heart, fuck's sake. We'll come back to that. Evilman wants to cure heart disease. The only way to cure heart disease is by getting blood samples from the biggest dinosaur on land, on sea, and in air, because they have the biggest hearts. And if you have a big heart, you don't get heart disease, apparently. Even though all the land dinosaurs are bigger than the flying dinosaur, so you don't need a flying dinosaur, do you? And there's a fucking Brachiosaurus dying in the middle of the street, but you don't get that thing's heart because that's not big enough. So they have to go and find random dinosaur hearts. And it proceeds as though, like, it's kind of like a shit video game quest. You go, there's a QTE prompt, you press button, you get blood, you leave, next mission, next dinosaur, same thing, we're off the island, goodbye. No one's interested in anything that happens. There are no characters to be interested in anything that happens. It's not really a dinosaur movie. It's just a movie for retards.
It's not really a movie though at all. It's like a series of events just playing out featuring dinosaurs and pretty actors. It's just like there's nothing to even discuss in terms of conflict. You know what I mean? No debate, no discussion.
The character motivations make no sense because Scarlett Johansson very quickly goes, I'm only going to do this for $10 million, then immediately jeopardizes the mission to go and rescue a bunch of innocent people and no longer cares about the money. Then you have that stupid, what's his name? Harry, the fucking glasses guy. He fucking goes, he's in his museum going, nobody cares about dinosaur bones anymore. There's fucking dinosaurs outside. Why would you? There's literally on the way to museum, there's, what is it, a brachiosaur? That's literally outside. Why would you want to look at dead dinosaur bones?
But it's completely boring to them. It's the last surviving one in North America because they've decided they don't like the climate anymore. And so but it dies in the street and everyone just gets pissed off because it's blocking traffic. That's how disinterested in dinosaurs we are now.
It's so stupid. And that's what I was going to say. I was trying to mention earlier, Dominion completely forgets this because they had the underground clubs where people were gambling with dinosaurs and having all sorts of fun and trading them and whatnot. They're totally interested in dinosaurs, but they pick and choose which parts of the world building and continuity they're going to keep, which is just annoying because like I have no idea what to do with these. Like, how do you watch these movies in order anymore? It's just like nonsense completely.
Man, kudos to Jurassic Park 3 for at least not having a billionaire with dubious plans as the villain.
Yeah. I'm so sick of it, man.
But is his we should probably mention that, right? His plan is not dubious. It's such a weird,
it's not. That was just my assumption.
No, he wants money, so the film treats it as it is.
Yeah, but like from what you've seen of it so far, Cynic, what would you expect that character to do or say later? Because like at the beginning, presumably the bit you've seen of him so far, he's like, we need to go and get them to cure heart disease. That's where he's up to in like the first 20 minutes, right? Where would you expect that character to go?
We eventually need to get to capitalism is bad. I would assume.
Yes.
We have a monologue for that.
But normally, like, would you not expect a character like that who says, he starts off by saying cure heart disease, which sounds like a good motive. And then toward the end of the movie, there's the twist reveal. He actually wants them for some nefarious evil purpose, right? Because that is conventional.
Naturally.
This never happens. I kept waiting for it to happen. Never happens. He does actually want to cure heart disease.
He's just
that
a good
is
dude.
genuinely his plan. But the reason he is bad is because the company might make some money from doing it.
So capitalism is bad.
Yes.
So capitalism
an
is bad.
extremely weak version of that. They don't even try to set it up. There's
The only
nothing.
reason the doctor guy, the fucking paleontologist, is in the movie is so he can sometimes say, hey, rather than making money from curing heart disease, why don't we just give dinosaur blood to everyone for free?
That doesn't
He
work.
says at the beginning of the
Doesn't make
movie, like in the first 10 minutes when he's introduced, that there's trillions of dollars in this. That's why he wants to do it.
Mm.
Yeah,
He
like
says that, like immediately.
He's the most honest person because the paleontology guy's actually scheming behind his back. He's been upfront. I will give you all lots of money if you help me make this medicine for people.
Mm-hmm.
He is completely upfront. He's the most
he fucking literally.
character.
I just watched it like right before. Like he literally says there's trillions of dollars in this, so I basically have no fucking problem paying you 10 million. That ain't shit. I'm gonna make so much money. Like that's basically what he's saying.
And to be clear about like how this works, right? You can't just open source dinosaur DNA and have people inject it into their own arms to cure heart disease, because that shit's gonna go wrong. That's really fucking dangerous. You need R&D. You need it to get through the FDA. You need it to be approved and tested and made sure it's safe. You need to make sure it fucking works for one thing. Then you need to manufacture it and distribute it. Sometimes in that process, a company might make some money from doing that, but that is how medicine works and it's how it gets to everyone. You can't just inject shit into your veins open source from the internet. What are you doing?
They don't have time for that, Platoon. This movie makes it seem like they're legit just going to direct.
It's worse than that because now nobody can have that medicine. Pharmaceutical companies will actively block it. So now nobody gets it because it's fucking this stupid bastards uploaded it to the internet.
And you'll probably still get sued to high heaven anyway, because the entire dinosaur genome, these are all created animals. They're not natural. They're not real. They were all made by InGen. They are patented. You can't just open source bits of a patented product and not get sued for doing that either. It belongs to someone.
Yeah, but are they following the continuity of the first one? It feels like they're ignoring what they need to ignore just to make this movie. That's the problem with assessing this film. How much of it even connects to InGen or the first one?
We know that it's connected to InGen, and we know it's all patented because the reason they're able to track the mosasaur through the water is the guy explains, when InGen went chapter 11, we bought the mosasaur data, so we bought the tracking data. That's how we were able to find it. So like they've acknowledged that these things are patented, but then the movie will otherwise just forget that the dinosaurs aren't actually kind of natural, because one of stupid science man's many complaints is that if you end up if you kill a dinosaur, he says it is a sin, because if you kill an animal and you're in its place, that means you put yourself somewhere where you don't belong. Bitch, the fucking dinosaurs don't belong anywhere in the 21st century. We put them there. Well, what are you talking about?
Doesn't he bring up, he goes, listen, dinosaurs were around for millions of years. We haven't. They're better than us. It's like, you love dinosaurs so much, go fucking bum one.
It actually gets even worse. Right. So evil guy correctly points out that humans are pretty good because, we're really intelligent and we adapt, and that's why we're kings of the earth. Stupid science man who knows everything says, actually, intelligence isn't a very adaptive trait, because we might be intelligent, but we then gave ourselves the ability to destroy ourselves. Dinosaurs lived for 650 million years. I don't think we'll even make it to 1 million. So intelligence is overrated, says the guy in Jurassic World 4. Obviously, intelligence is overrated.
But
Who is this character?
It makes no sense in any angle because he's saying dinosaurs as the entire species. That's like saying mammals, which is really stupid. Humans are all over the planet in every fucking climate.
It's a conversation that this movie wasn't ready for. Like, this is not the way to approach this subject. It just made him look like a fucking complete fool. And it just insight into the thought process behind this movie. Lazy.
It's lazy, but it's the only time the movie has a theme. This is the only actual content in the movie. Evil man says, let's cure heart disease for money. Midway through, scientist says to fucking Black Widow, hey, have you considered that maybe money is bad? End of the movie. Do you want to open source it or have the money? And she says, let's give it to people for free.
Yeah, what an arc. Oh my god. She played like 7 different characters. Every scene, it was a coin flip. Greedy lady, altruistic lady. Like, and by the end, they really think this is a meaningful journey she's been on, where where her character could have been interesting if she had to she went from being super greedy and she was here just for the money, and then she had to break, it's I don't know. They did that dilemma in Game of Thrones really interesting with Bronn, where he dropped this gold and he has to decide whether or not to help or that little type of moment of a greedy character having to choose between their loot and the greater good. It's fun, but they kind of forgot to do that with her. Yet still act like there was a payoff.
They've got 2 groups of characters to split the screen time, and I think the Mexican family's only there because they didn't want to pay ScarJo as much. Because she's probably more expensive than the fucking dinosaurs. So we'll get this cheap Mexican family who are just in the ocean. Oh, we just take my whole family in the ocean with fucking dinosaurs.
Stupid.
And I'll spend half the movie because they're cheap labor. They're cheaper than fucking she is, so we'll just have that.
It's cut in such a funny way as well, because so before their first scene, you get like obviously the mission briefing, and they're going to this island, Black Widow's team, and they're like, how do we get there without the government, stopping us? And they're like, well, I know the government says you can't go there, but they don't enforce it because no one would be stupid enough to go there. Cut scene, family, sailing ship to the island. Everyone knows it's a stupid thing to do, but no, they have to take one last fucking sailing break before daughter goes off to university like she's fucking Nani from Lilo and Stitch. And then so I saw someone in chat say like the theme was family. It isn't in this movie. They have a family in it because they understand it is normally the theme for a Jurassic movie, right? Jurassic Park does family really well. The Lost World does family bizarrely, because I don't know how Ian Malcolm gave birth to his daughter, but he did. Jurassic Park 3 does family pretty well. Even Jurassic World does family a little bit, because you have obviously like the absent mother, absent aunt, then you have Chris Pratt, and they sort of take on parental roles with the kids. Fallen Kingdom, broad, like less family in that, to be fair, but does introduce the dinosaur Blue, which is kind of familial. Fucking Jurassic World Dominion does family because you have stupid clone girl in it. This movie has a family in it, but it does not make the family the theme of the film. The family has one bit of character growth, and it happens in their second scene in the film. Junky fucking stupid boyfriend character who is portrayed as an idiot at the beginning, then potentially sacrifices himself to save his girlfriend, and then the dad realizes he's not bad after all. Then the rest of the film happens, and they have nothing else to do.
They don't do anything. They're just there. It's so unbelievably half-baked. You're waiting for some type of emotional payoff or some point to this family, but it's all done within that first like 3 minutes, like you said. And the rest of the movie, they're just standing there. They're just there. The only drama they try to create is the evil guy leaving the girl to fall, and nothing happens with that. She yells about it. He points the gun, and they move on with the rest of the movie. Everything is half baked. Every type of payoff you could think of, it's just pointless.
That whole boat scene where she tries to call the radio, and it's trying to make Evil Man look bad because she pushes him, he falls, and then he doesn't push her. She kind of slips off the boat.
She
and it's
pushes herself off the boat. Is what happens.
And then she says, "Oh, you tried to kill me." It's like, no, you attacked him, and he was trying to stop you from getting them all arrested, because if that radio signal went out, they would all be in jail.
It's such a clever film. There's no villain in it. The heroes are the worst characters. It's like he evil science guy, evil fucking business guy doesn't do anything wrong really at any point, and then they blame him for everything and kill him.
He's one of the most consistent characters, like you were saying from the beginning. He just said he wants money and willing to pay for it. He's not flip-flopping like ScarJo, where like you never know, her values are changing in every scene. But they just needed him to be evil because he wants money. It's so lazy.
How bad is your writing that I actually sympathize with the multi-billion-dollar pharmaceutical drug fucking pusher? He's the best moral character in the whole movie.
Big Pharma lives matter. Yeah.
And he actually wanted to help
Wow.
people. He wanted to, it's just
He was
they-
honest. He was
yeah.
up front. Everyone else tried to fuck him over. ScarJo fucked him over. The kids fucked him over. And like he did everything right. And he kept trying to abandon him. When he was just like standing in the pool looking at the crashed airplane, they all moved on without him. He could have been killed. They didn't give a fuck whether he lived or died.
Yeah, this and talking to change the subject to ScarJo, you would never know if she's a great actress if this was your introduction to her. She was fucking terrible in this movie. I don't know. Well, okay, peace out. Bye, Reaper.
Oh,
What the hell?
he's been killed. Too much
He's
defending
dead?
Big Pharma.
It's the ear infection took him out. But yeah, Platoon, what did you think, ScarJo in this movie? Like her performance was just
Oh, well, like her and is it Mahershala Ali? They are the best two in the film. But it's a really low bar to clear. So like she seems nice for a spec ops person who's introduced as being like amoral. She's a nice person, but that's it. She's they have like a Rebel Moon character scene on the boat where they're like, here, let's pretend that these people have a history. And they mention like, oh, I lost a friend on my mission in Yemen. And then Mahershala Ali's character is like, oh yeah, I had a kid or something. I have a photo of it. And that's it. Never comes up again. That's the extent of the character work for these two. Then the rest of the characters are just in it either to be family or to be dead.
I thought they could have did something with the scene that they had with them, and he was mentioning that he broke off with his wife because they were just reminding each other of the kid that they lost, which I think is like, if you're gonna do a slap together backstory, it's kind of a decent one. There's something you could do with that, but they just don't do anything ever again. It's all half baked where they do that first scene to establish a tiny bit of character with the family, tiny bit of character with Mahershala, tiny bit of character with Black Widow, and then it's just dinosaurs for the rest of the film. They completely forget to develop these payoffs at all. And no boobs. No boobs. Why the hell didn't we get any cleavage?
Well, I mean, damn, Reaper's dying all over the place this evening.
He's hurting.
But I mean, I wouldn't say there are no boobs. I didn't realize her boobs were that big, but apparently they are. Like there are boobs, but they're not just like exposed boobs. They are covered boobs, but they are definitely boobs there.
Well, we've seen them in Under the Skin. They didn't look that big then. I think they were just super padded in this movie. Did anyone get that impression?
Oh, so it's padding. I see.
She looked like an extra cup size. They were huge in this movie, and I'm pretty sure her boobs aren't that big. Picture her in her Black Widow suit. Her tits aren't that big.
Well, that was what surprised me. I didn't think they were that big, but then this movie came along. It's like, how do you run?
Yeah, that's what I mean. I can't picture her doing all her Black Widow moves, flipping around, throwing people with tits that big, flopping and hitting her in the chin. Like, it doesn't make any sense. So either she's got some work since the MCU, or they definitely did some padding.
Cynic, you like her boobs. What did you make of Scarlett Johansson's boobs? We've got to that point of the film. There's nothing else to talk about, so...
I haven't gotten around to them yet. I'm looking forward to it.
Oh.
Yeah,
okay.
I haven't seen this. I came back at the right time, apparently. You're saying padding? There's padding?
Whoa.
Who knows?
Those tits did not look that big when she was flipping around throwing people as Black Widow. Picture her in her tights. They weren't that big, but they look massive in this movie. So either she's got some work done or they filled in the padding for this movie.
Or maybe she's just grown as she's gotten older.
But there's that too. Well, that's a subject in itself. Like all the people who think she's like not fuckable
let's
anymore.
Discuss.
Yeah, get the fuck out of here, but it's just no, she's not in her prime. We're not talking Iron Man 2 fucking Angel here.
But no, but whoever
still not hot.
I just got to say this publicly. Whoever says that she's like, all done. This woman is fucking gorgeous. That's just such an absurd take. She is not over the hill. This woman's banging.
Women go through certain stages, and the stage she's in now is probably more appealing to some men, depending on the age group. So you can't just like throw her off the bridge just because she's not in her perfect prime anymore.
Although I'm watching a copy from India, and the spray tan doesn't look great so far.
No, I think all the versions I've seen, some of which are legitimate,
sure.
The spray tan does not look good ever. Like she is orange all the way. I think like the movie makes her look worse than she normally does, and she doesn't look bad in the film, but it's not a good look.
Yeah, I don't know why they made her so dark. It just stands out so much because we know what she looks like. We've seen her for 10 years in the MCU.
It's weird.
It's a bit strange, but she's still hot. She's got, like I said, another 10, 15 years left, a hot list left. You can't just throw her off just because she's not, like, come on.
There you go.
You're not always going to maintain that forever. That's a small window in time that you have to appreciate.
It is mad how they used to have women look attractive. They used to
Yeah.
actually put makeup on them and get their tits exposed. This one, you might as well put her in a burqa.
It's fucking rough, man. One of the good examples of that is the first Jurassic World with Bryce Dallas Howard. She's hot in that one. And then she gets a couple pounds and she's in like 30 sweaters by Dominion, It's just...
Well, that was to make her look like she didn't have 60 extra pounds.
She was completely hiding all the thickness. She was a balloon by that point. But
and complaining about the body standards as if, poor
Dude.
Chris Pratt over there is injecting steroids into his ass.
Someone pointed it out. I think it was you, Cynic, but you have the side by side where it's like, oh, Leonardo DiCaprio on the beach, this fat fuck, he needs to fucking shape up. Then you have Amy Schumer or whatever her name is, looking just as plump, but then they're just saying, oh, she's showing off her sexy curves. The double standards when it comes to
but who's actually saying that? Other women? Because the only reason other women would say that about Amy Schumer is because Amy Schumer isn't a threat to other women.
This is quite often what happens. So like most of the body standards thing does come from women who have a slight interest in tearing down women who are attractive. Like it actually bears. I've done a little bit of reading on the area because it sort of just interests me in how these things come about. And actually, like you can look at like female conflict patterns as early as like primary school age, and actually like it's different because men are hierarchical, and like to be top of the hierarchy is kind of the ambition, whereas women have like they want to be like top of bell curve as opposed to top of hierarchy. And so like most female conflict patterns emerge, like they will bully the very attractive sporty ones as well as the really unattractive nerdy ones in order to sort of stay lockstep in the middle of it. And so like that's where a lot of the like arguments against bikini clad bodies on tube adverts and stuff sort of comes from the same place. It's fair enough, I guess. I mean, it's for other people to decide what they find offensive. If you find attractive women offensive as a woman, it's your right to say that that is the case. But like, I think understanding the assignment of female actresses is quite important. Bryce Dallas Howard complained in Jurassic World that she wasn't paid as much as Chris Pratt. Chris Pratt quite evidently put more work in because he understood the assignment. He is there to be cool to guys and attractive to women. Bryce Dallas Howard didn't think she had to do that, and she worked less and she got paid less, and she's less important to the franchise. I don't think that's controversial, but I guess it is.
To Bryce Dallas Howard, it's very controversial, but I don't think that anyone else.
Yeah, mid women are psychopaths. Yeah, because they're the most ruthless ones. Because
they're in limbo, man.
They're the one. That's why you get Bonnie Blue. You get these really you'll suck 1,000 cocks in one night because they know if they backstab enough, they can just get there. Whereas if you're really ugly, there's nothing you can do.
Gotta work so much harder.
Between a 5 to a 6 woman is the most dangerous. They'll key your car, they'll kill your cat, they'll fucking, put fake claims, rape allegations against you. They'll do everything.
Jesus, what has gone on?
They're ruthless. He's got a point.
Oh, they're like Varys from fucking Game of Thrones. They got all these plans and there's spiders and shit, yeah.
Spy master. And I think one of the worst examples of that, too, is Kirsten Dunst with Spider-Man 2. Like, who the fuck are you to think you're on par with Peter Parker when it's called Spider-Man?
I wasn't paid as much as Tobey Maguire was for a film called Spider-Man. Fuck off.
Crazy.
But, I think Scarlett Johansson is probably the joint best actor in this entire film. I still like her. I think she plays, like, she's still a versatile actor. She's like, I'm not the best one to judge whether she's good to look at, but I gather that she is. So that's good if you're into that kind of thing. But, like, I think just because she can act, she sort of comes across like she has a bit more character than anybody else in this film does. But she doesn't. Like, she still has no character. She's like Florence Pugh in Thunderbolts. She's a good actor, and it makes the character seem better than they are.
Yeah, that sounds like Thunderbolts.
That sounds like Florence Pugh's every role, like completely. She just elevates it to the people are distracted by her performance and the fact that she's cute. It's just frustrating. But I've just seen her do such better performances. Like my favorite ScarJo performance is her. Has anyone seen that movie? Joaquin Phoenix and ScarJo?
Oh, she's the AI.
Yeah, she's not even on screen. So that's where you really get her acting chops because it's just her aura, it's just her presence, and she's fantastic in her. You don't even see her. So to go from that to this is definitely a downgrade. But she's still one of the more entertaining people just because she's, she got talent.
Making money though. What is she? The top grossing actress of all time?
I think it's top grossing that she's been in the number of films that have grossed the highest, right? I think that's where that statistic comes from, because obviously she's been in a bunch of Avengers films. Now she's in the Jurassic. But the Jurassic, this movie pushed her over the top. So like she's been in the biggest grossing movies of all time, I think is how that works, as opposed to earning the most.
Yeah, this is a wild claim if you actually put context, because she's part of the Avengers, but no one went to see the Avengers exclusively because of her.
Yeah.
She's no Tom Cruise or anything like that.
I think
we never got to see
years in like the mid 2000s where like Christopher Lee was the highest grossing actor in the world for a good like 3 or 4 year stretch, because he had appeared in The Lord of the Rings and Star Wars, and they were the biggest grossing movies. So he was the biggest grossing actor at that time period. And like, I think he's incredible, but like he's not the best actor in the world. Has one of the best voices in the world, but he's not making the money himself.
Do you think Black Widow, the movie, would have been like more successful if it happened in like phase 2? Do you think she could have carried her own movie in the prime of the MCU?
Oh yeah.
I also think it probably would have done better if it wasn't simultaneously released on Disney Plus. I think that was a huge problem.
There's that, yeah.
Isn't
that why she sued them for that? Yeah.
Yeah, she sued them and got paid big time, I think.
Would it have made this more money if it was put in phase 2, but it was the exact same movie where she butts the table and breaks her nose?
I still think, Captain Marvel made $1 billion. So yeah, I think the answer is it would.
Yeah. If you shove it in between the good films, it would, even if it was the same shit movie. God damn that Scene Reaper.
But the whole thing of like women not putting the effort in, look at like Thor 4. Chris Hemsworth, it was eating steroids like Tic Tacs. I mean, he was huge. And then you got Natalie Portman, where they went, oh yeah, she's naturally that big. And then when you see her behind the scenes, she looks like a toothpick.
It's just CGI arms. It's so crazy. CGI arms.
If I was Chris Hemsworth, I went, oh, she's getting that. I want a CGI bulge. That's huge.
Yes. Compensate. And isn't it true that he didn't want to take his clothes off for that role, and they made him? You flick too hard, damn it scene.
I can just imagine he's like crying and he's slowly taking off one arm at a time, and Taika Waititi's going, yeah, that's good.
Fucking, yeah, poor Chris.
It's like Titanic. He's just drawing him. He's just naked on the couch.
Oh my god. And the fact that we still have no problem doing that to men, but like we can't see an ounce of cleavage when it comes to women is just, I don't know, needs to be addressed eventually.
Yeah,
because I don't like the fact that he straight up said he didn't want to take his clothes off, yet they made him.
Because there was just nothing else. I think he knew this is just fucking lazy bait. The film has no substance, so we're just using my ass as the marketing material.
Yeah.
Well, they even chucked it in the trailer, didn't they? So it was literally marketing.
Like, that's the thing. The highlight of Thor 4 is his anus.
It's just not fair to what he put in as an actor, though, too. He had so much more potential than just being a flanderized version of Thor, goofball. I always say Infinity War Thor is the best Thor we ever got. We needed to go down that road, and turning him to a fat Thor and then stupid Thor Love and Thunder Thor is just a massive mistake.
Well, everyone was excited. What was it going to call? The Asgardians of the Galaxy. And it was going to be a little bit of rivalry between him and Peter. And then the next movie, they tell him to fuck off, and then they're not his friends.
They're gone in like the first 2 minutes. It's stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah, he says, you need people who love you. And then as he tries to fucking move into screen, they just go, not us. I'm like, oh, what the fuck? They literally had Infinity War together with Rocket and stuff.
Wasn't
they had
James
good
Gunn
chemistry with the
decision, though?
Avengers.
I thought I'd read or heard something like James Gunn had basically said he didn't want Thor with Guardians for Guardians 3.
Yeah, I read that as well.
Into Love and Thunder to separate them. And of course, being Taika Waititi, he couldn't be fucked to come up with a reason.
But then Thor, Guardians of the Galaxy 3 was kind of shit. So
Yep. Was there a
lost.
reason he wanted them separated? Because I just don't creatively, I don't get that.
I think it was that he had an idea for what he wanted the end of the Guardians story to be, and it just didn't involve Thor because he'd built these characters up, he told the story with them, he had an idea how to end it, and Thor would have just been a complicating factor. I I actually don't think it would have made the movie worse because like most of that movie isn't very good anyway. It's just the rocket stuff which is good.
Well, you could have had Thor fight Adam Warlock and actually have a use for that character. Because he shows up, beats up everyone, and then he's useless the rest of the movie.
I'd forgotten he was even in it. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. So you mentioned,
See,
I just like that
there's Thor. Thor versus Adam Warlock. They all fight somewhere, done. That would be something. We didn't even get that. We got fucking Peter Quill deciding to fight the High Evolutionary by jumping out of a fucking window with no plan.
Yeah, blacked out a lot of that movie. I've only been really a fan of the first Guardians. I think the trilogy overall is kind of overrated. And that's James Gunn's big claim to fame. Does he have any other movies that he gets like real praise for? I'm not really familiar with him that way.
Suicide Squad, which is basically just Guardians again.
Yeah, pretty much. So he can do the dynamic and like relationships and whatnot, but in terms of a character like Superman, I'm not sure how he's going to be able to handle that.
His advertisement is shit. I've never seen a film so badly advertised. I went, it's fucking Superman. Have him save a cat.
Seriously, it's so simple.
There's another one where it's just fucking like James Gunn and Zack Snyder are in Rick and Morty the week before the film comes out. I'm like, this is the gayest advertisement I've ever seen.
Are they really?
Yeah, they're in. If you type in Rick and Morty, Zack Snyder, they voiced themselves. They're actually voiced by the directors.
Oh,
they're
shit.
in a Rick and Morty. They're in a Warner Brothers property advertising a Warner Brothers film. So
that's lame. I'd forgotten there was even a new Rick and Morty season out, to be fair, because that show is just tanked. But
oh my god!
Oh, you had the slide.
I did, yeah. I said no slides today, and then I made slides.
And here it is.
And here are slides.
Yeah, they voice themselves. It's like it's a really shit scene, and then later on, James Gunn gets shot, and I'm like, yeah, I'm glad he's dead, but he's not dead in real life, so it doesn't mean anything.
I haven't seen this, but like I'm pretty sure I know the motive behind it, and it's unbearably horrible. It's that obviously Warner is aware, everyone is aware that Snyder has a small cult of people, and they are dead set against the James Gunn film, and they will do everything they can to make sure it stops. And so Warner, owning Rick and Morty, have said, for marketing reasons, we need to tell the young people who like Zack Snyder, they watch Rick and Morty, don't they? This is still 2012 or whenever the fuck that show came out. So we'll have they'll appear together and be nice to each other. So then the Snyder fans will know not to hate on the Gunn film now. This is how programming works. Fuck.
Who's watching Rick and Morty? That's the real question.
That show fell off a
cliff.
Yeah, I really liked season 1 to 3, and then 4 was like, and then from that point onwards, it was just, ugh.
Yeah, I've only heard about how it just slowly gotten worse, so I never really got into it.
Well, Justin Roiland was accused of like beating up a girlfriend, and then so he got replaced, and then it turns out she lied and went, "No, actually, I'm withdrawing the charges," and then he's not allowed back. He's just his career's gone.
So it's like there's probably it's one of those ones where like there seemed to have been a lot of stuff building up behind the scenes because there were lots of complaints about his attitude and like him not turning up for work in season 3, I think it was, after Dan Harmon had sort of brought in a bunch of new writers that Roiland didn't necessarily want there. Then there was a bunch of allegations, one of which was domestic abuse, one of which was sexual assault, I think, and then sending inappropriate messages to a couple of fans, I think, who were underage, I want to say. I didn't ever look into it all that closely, but my usual approach to these things is that like, if a charge is dropped, the person is innocent in the eyes of the law. You can have speculation all you want. You can share screenshots of supposedly dodgy messages. And I've seen a couple that were like, yeah, that's a bit uncomfortable. But like, I might not have seen the really, really bad ones, to be clear. But nothing I've seen was more than just a bit creepy. I don't think that's necessarily a sackable offense. If you're going to sack someone from their job, you really should build like a really watertight case for it, because otherwise you will abuse that system and people will get kicked out of jobs for reasons that are even less justified than this one maybe was. I mean, even isn't that the case with who plays Kang, Jonathan Majors? Didn't all that thing fall apart, that case? Because everyone said, oh, he abused what's her name, and then the court case sort of went very, very differently. And he's still out of a job, but he's not actually been indicted or charged or convicted of anything, from what I understand.
Yeah, your reputation gets destroyed regardless of the result.
But let's take it to the other thing. Jeffrey Epstein is innocent. He's now been found as innocent. There is no list
there
of
were no
people.
clients.
Yeah.
Then that means it's incredibly sad that he killed himself before being found innocent.
An
Isn't
innocent
that
man
really sad?
has died.
Innocent
And then
man
there's
killed.
the stuff like I think they said like the FBI said that some evidence just was lost in the course of investigating his private safe.
Well,
But
Didn't
then
they say
it
there
was
were
always-
thousands of tapes?
I think
were
they
all lost?
did.
All
Loads of them
thousands
was lost, and then
them.
obviously like, people. The reason like Ghislaine Maxwell not being flipped, I think, was quite controversial, is because people sort of understood that she was kind of the list herself, right? And then she never gave very much information. I did major. I thought there was something else about that case that was a bit dodgy. Maybe I'm just out of the loop on that one, but
Did
like.
he?
But the overall point I'm making is that like, it's understandable. I understand the temptation to sort of court of public opinion lots of these dodgy Hollywood type people because we know how they behave. And like in the Justin Roiland case, he does seem to be a bit of a fucked up person. The problem is though that as soon as you accept the premise that the court of public opinion is in any way justified, that will never not be abused. So you almost need to brook a degree of unpleasantness in order for like a worse situation to be avoided, which is just anyone can accuse anyone, and as soon as the accusation is leveled, no matter what grounds it has to support it, you're fucked. Which I don't think is.
What's really funny about the Epstein is that they go, he never killed himself because we show 10 hours of footage right up until the last hour where he actually died. We don't have that bit. We have the 10 hours beforehand. So there you go. That's proof no one went into the cell except for that 1 hour where he actually killed himself.
I tell you what happened. Slug hacked the prison cameras and the hood went in to recruit him. Epstein is still out there. He's not really dead. He's just working with Riri Williams.
Did you hear about the Diddy thing? It makes no sense because it goes, he's innocent of sexually trafficking people, but he's guilty of transferring women from one place to another for prostitution. But
What's
that's
the
fucking
difference?
sick.
Wow, they found a loophole, eh? I heard about that, but I haven't heard the details. That's so fucked up.
He literally I couldn't believe the news was saying it like that. I thought they would come up with like a Latin term or something to confuse people, but no, they actually said innocent of sex trafficking, guilty of trafficking girls to places for prostitution.
They were being transported, but they didn't get stuck in traffic. So really, it wasn't sex traffic at all. It was import export business is what it was.
It's supply demand. He's a business. But and then Harvey Weinstein's going to be innocent. All these people are free and innocent. What the fuck is going on? Epstein. I mean, it's obvious what's going on, mass cover up. But Epstein's now innocent. Diddy's slightly innocent apparently, and now Harvey Weinstein is apparently gonna be innocent.
Some of it's like some of it has like strong whiffs of cover up. Some of it is though, it is just the natural consequence of the snowball effect of publicity. Like the real danger in these cases is like prosecutorial overreach, when like one massively famous person gets a believable accusation made against them. Then in order to make the case seem stronger, they start admitting a bunch of other similar accusations which cannot be proved in the same way, and they're way more tenuous. And sometimes that can just destroy a perfectly legitimate case because they tried to expand the scope and they were unable to prove that in court. And so the person gets off at least on those charges, if not on the entire thing.
Well, one thing I learned is that crime pays very well. As according to Ironheart as well, she gets away with everything. She gets away. She joins Epstein and all them in her criminal activities and wins. What is this fucking scene?
This is my favorite character. This was the moment. Because I was saying how this show was just grating a nerve in me. I just was getting frustrated. But it was around this moment when I started really enjoying it and just treating it like a comedy. Because like I couldn't believe they kept this scene. I had to fucking send this as a spoiler. This is terrible.
Why would you give the hacker acrylic nails?
Why?
Can't even
when she types like this. Well, am I even saying it right? It's they when they type
it.
Yeah,
I always say it like it's a monster, like it's some sort of creature.
It might be because it got out of this car crash with no damage, didn't even break a nail or anything, like completely flawless, just and then walked away right after. It's like that whole scene was like, what happened to damage, people? Like, there's people getting clocked in the head with fire extinguishers and giant pipes. Like, Clown should be dead. Riri's should have brain damage, and this person should definitely be a puddle of mush.
Well,
But
they wanted them
everybody
all
gets
for a
out without a
second
scratch.
season. This show
Yeah.
was genuinely written with a second season in mind. They thought, yeah, we wrote this in 2022. We've got diverse people. We've got trans people. We've got gay people. We even have gay, diverse, trans, black people. There's no way we're not going to get a season 2. So they all had to stay alive because they wanted them to come back. We will never see Slug again, much to our pity.
Yeah, it's a shame.
It'd be funny. He was in Doomsday. He's the key to Doomsday.
He's the key to everything.
Slug.
He has to
Riri and
out
Slug.
Doom.
King Doom. Yeah, that would be a shame if we never get to see Slug and the magic fingers ever again. Oh my god. What Reaper, this is freshest for you. Like, we've all discussed it thoroughly a little bit already. Like, what was your take?
Oh, fuck, it's a fucking never-ending car crash.
Yeah.
Every episode. What, like, fucking Han Solo gets he just gets given superpowers, and like, why does no one else in the hood have them? Like, why if you have the technology, he literally just gives him the technology to become some fucking electro-powered fucking thing. Why is everyone else like just shit normal?
They don't have any characters, so we don't know what they want. Like, legit, like, the Clown has the most personality out of any of them, and she's still nothing. She the twins. What is there to say about the twins?
Underground
they're
Fight
completely
Club.
worthless.
Underground lesbian fight club.
Oh, lesbians
pretty
who hit
much
each
it.
other. What a stereotype. We got 2 lesbians, and all they can do is hit each other and other women.
Yes.
Abusing each other.
Yes, those two were terrible. And the scene with Riri, like, they established that those two are fighters. That's all they're there to do. And they can't take Riri and her 90-pound ass. Like, that fight was like just comical. Like, if the fact that they treated that like a serious fight was just crazy to me. It's just like a parody. The entire thing leading up to the Slug, leading up to this stupid scene right here that we're looking at.
So all of the gang members were, you know, they believed in the mission, but they're not giving any money to anyone but themselves. And then when they actually show up to kill Riri in plain view of everyone directly in public, they like take this guy's head and smash it off the table. And I was just commenting in my video about how the fact that, like, these are your people, are they not? Like, these are the people you're supposed to be dispensing all of this money to that you're stealing, and you're beating the shit out of this guy for no reason.
Well, they make it seem like Riri's goals is to, you know, help first responders and revolutionize safety. And them, they're making it seem like, oh, it's Robin Hood. We steal from the rich and help the poor. You don't get to see any of that. Riri's goals are entirely selfish throughout the entire rest of the story.
Well,
and the rest of them are as well.
She says every episode it's different. At first it's first responders, then it's about being iconic. Then later on she says, I use this armor to protect myself. Then it's about stealing money. If fucking motivations, wherever it is, that episode.
They had another one where it's like, oh, because of what happened with Natalie and her father, she was helpless then. She'll never let that happen again. Out of all of them, that's the best one. That should have been the core of her character, and it's what they should have actually focused everything around. Because Riri, holy shit, man, absolutely botched. When this is a character that potentially could have been, you know, there's things in here that could have worked. There's definite things in here that could have worked, but they are completely blinded by their goals of just making her perfect. They have no idea what made Tony appealing. It's like
I couldn't believe when she goes to her mother, hey, I need to go to a magic shop. And the first magic shop she goes to happens to be full of fucking actual witches.
Yeah.
Instead of people just selling you magic crystals, she goes, oh, we're actually witch. I'm like, what the? Did her mum know they were witches? Or was it just
I didn't understand if Riri knew or not.
The mom was the witch was there at the beginning. She was a friend of the mom from the first episode, so they did set that up to some degree. But then they went like to get. I don't know.
Witch?
That's the thing. That's the part I'm not sure about.
Because they're witches who sell fake magic crystals to people. I don't know why you do that. So their job as witches, their undercover identity is to be a magic shop.
Like essence. They were going there for like some incense and candles and just some spiritual cleansing bullshit. But she didn't actually know as soon as they snapped the fingers and turned dimensions. So her mom, from what I can see, didn't know that they were actual witches. And had no
she
reaction
gets mad
to
at
magic.
Riri after they leave as well for being like that Riri was taking advantage of her friend or something. And I was super confused. I was like, so did Riri know? Like, did she plot this to get to the shop?
She
I
plotted.
just didn't
She
understand.
lied to her mother and tricked her, but she couldn't have known she was an actual witch.
Right.
Because
So who
she's
cares?
had a
Heroism
mad.
knew.
And there's loads of times where it's a fucking magical object and she keeps trying to find a physical solution to it. And I'm like, it's fucking magic. Of course, there's not going to be any scientific answer. It defies the laws of reality. You stupid bitch. She's the
So
world's...
Riri fucking tricked her mom into bringing her to the magic shop that she didn't know existed.
It wasn't even a trick. That's why I'm so confused about it. She's basically just saying how she's got anxiety, and her mom's like, "Oh, I've got just the thing for that." So they're going to get like some incense or candles or do something
Fucking
like
stupid.
basic. But then neither of them are surprised when suddenly they're in another dimension. They have no reaction to the introduction of magic, at least from their perspective in this series. They should be aware of it, but from far as we've seen, Riri's never experienced it.
I went back and watched that scene 3 times because I was trying to figure out who knew that they were witches or whatever. And I came away just as confused the third time as the first time. I could not fucking figure it out. I was watching. I'm like, who's asking questions? You know, I was breaking it down. It was like fucking Sherlock Holmes, but I could not solve the case.
And it's her making an Iron Man suit out of just this car, like solar power and wind. It's a slap in the face to the arc reactor. It really is. And her having a friend just down the street who's randomly a sorcerer is a big slap in the face to Camouflage and Doctor Strange and how much effort it should take to have magic abilities like that. But if anyone can just do it, it's just a downgrade to everything that made the MCU interesting.
But the car idea is even worse because unless it's the presidential car, which is bomb-proof, that's not going to stop a bullet.
Exactly.
Cars don't stop bullets. Cars
Exactly.
they're not built for
Exactly.
fucking war. They're built to
Exactly.
get you from A to B.
And it's
She's
not
basically cased herself in aluminium.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He says in Iron Man 1, like, I don't even know why they're calling him call me Iron Man. The suit's not even made out of iron. It's like a titanium alloy. They never actually get back to that because where's Riri gonna have access to those type of materials? But apparently you could just strip down a car and make an Iron Man suit overnight. It's a complete joke.
It's the inversion. He's got a strong material that's called a weaker material. She's got a weaker material that's called stronger.
It's just making any sense, man.
And then that final scene where she goes in, meets him, he turns into a fucking goblin. I was like, what the fuck?
What is that?
And then like he turns into a goblin. I don't know. He's never displayed this power before. He then rips her arc reactor, solar reactor out. It explodes, sends her across the room, but then that's a hologram. It turns out the suit's fine. How did it explode?
How was he doing damage to it? He was physically touching her. Like you can't change. Like they showed with Natalie the entire time that you can't touch her until the stupid scene that we're gonna get to. But with this, he can touch her no problem. The illusions suddenly work differently. You can't just throw magic and fuck her. You can't do that so frivolously. You need rules if you're gonna incorporate magic into your show.
She steals his hood. She just couldn't help herself. She had to steal one more thing.
One more thing. I can't. I gotta steal one more thing.
She's stolen from a mother. She's stolen from a job. She's stolen from the boss. She's stolen from their henchman. Yeah. She just won't stop.
I pointed this out earlier, but when she's running from Slug, she's trying to steal a car to get away before the fucking crash happens. She's such a bitch. She's so terrible, man.
But she goes, I need to find a job abroad that's big enough that will let me steal from the job site. I'm like, you get given money, and money can be used for goods and services. It's like the Homer scene where he figures out what money's for. She goes, I'm going to get money, but I also don't want to pay for things. That is how insane she is as a character.
And if you remember Civil War, Tony's first scene is showing all the MIT students funding all their scholarships, pretty much all their programs, and like doing his part. She was a part of that, but they just have her piss it away in this movie. She can make fucking worthless. She's one of the worst role models I've ever seen in my life.
She can make force field watches,
but she doesn't figure out. Why didn't she use it at the beginning? Why didn't she use her watch at the beginning? Why didn't they use their gun at the beginning? You have to turn everyone's brains off in order to have these fight scenes. It's crazy.
No, but her force field's worse because her force field only kicks in like a shield from Dune, where only when something goes very quickly does it stop it. Because she gets it. So why does her shield behave like fucking Dune? Why a bullet? Why she gets physically attacked and it's useless?
so fucking every piece. It's hard to even just pick which piece to talk about. It's all so fucked. Like the Justin Hammer scenes in Iron Man 2 showing all the different governments trying to make their iron suits and the different approaches they took and people dying and like the casualties. But with this, she can just do it no problem. It retroactively makes Iron Man 2 stupid. It ruins Doctor Strange. It ruins the thought process behind so many of the other movies that were actually well constructed. Like Iron Man 2 shit. But I really love that scene with him just talking shit to the government, explaining how he's like 20 years ahead and saying, I just privatized world peace. Like it's a great scene. And it makes no sense now because of Riri. The entitlements and just the plot armor and all the privilege they've given this character they should be ashamed. She's like one of the worst characters they've ever made.
Yeah, she goes, I want to protect my family, but everything she does actively puts them in harm's way. It's her involvement with the Hood's gang that puts her mother in danger.
Yep.
She's so fun. She is the world's smartest retard.
Yeah, but not once does Hood even come after her family. He doesn't give a fuck. He's just, I want her to die. And they're like, okay. So they just go find her at White Castle.
Why didn't he go? Why did he send the stupid idiot twins?
That's what I was saying too. I was like, why doesn't this bitch just go?
And he says that at the end. He goes, I knew I'd be the one who'd have to kill you. Then why didn't you? Why did you send everyone but you?
I thought I could trust the fighting lesbians.
They let me down. She just... Oh,
but like this clown. Is like... Riri keeps going, he's magical, I don't know what to do. Like, she hasn't shot at him. She hasn't, like... Because the thing is, though, if earlier on they established she shot him with a laser beam and he wasn't hurt, that'd be fine. But she's like, she just assumes she can't beat him. She just assumes that. She never actually physically tries to hit him. She just goes, I need magic because I think I do.
Except that even like we know, and like this came up yesterday as well, but like she knows that the little laser pen she had in her wrist can cut through his hood. So she knows the laser can do it. And then after that scene, they all act as though that isn't the case and that is not what happened. But actually, no, the laser cuts through it, so you're fine.
They treat magic as if we already have the rules established for it, which is so lame.
He also doesn't wear his hood all the time. He's in his base and he puts it in a vault. Just get him when steal it.
Just break in. You're so right, Reaper. They needed a scene of him like getting away one of her shots or establishing that he has some, he can actually deal with her highest potential abilities. They never had that moment. For all we know, Reaper can just blow his head off and take the suit like right there on the spot. And that stupid laser platoon. Oh my god, that fucking scene. They established that the laser can instantly melt the metal lock so she can swim through the thing, but then she spends 10 years melting his suit. No one smells the smoke. No one fucking reacts to it. They cut back and forth. The entire scene's going on. The whole building is on lockdown and she's still standing there burning.
Well, the whole time it's happening, like her little hand's poking up above the thing and there's quite an obvious laser shooting up from her wrist. Standing directly opposite the hood as all this happens is what the giant hippie guy, who can obviously see because he's looking at it while it's happening, but he doesn't because the show needs for him not to do that. But it's like, we've already established, because Clown goes and steals the Hood's cloak when she's bored, that you could just go into his bedroom while he's not there and take it. Just do that. Why are you doing this in the middle of a mission when you're going to get trapped? It's absurd.
So it would have been funny. As she lasered it, it caught fire, and he's just trying to stop and roll,
patting it off. But for real, like in the middle of that conversation, they should have stopped mid-sentence and be like, and notice the smoke. Like it's just common sense. We know how this shit works. A 4-year-old can look at that and know that it makes no sense. And then she sneaks away, leaves that guy to get killed, leaves all the security guard to get bodied, and then she just escapes through the vent because vents can take you anywhere that you need to go. She never ever gets an opportunity to save something.
The wrong vent. She comes in through a vent, which gets her right to the middle of the complex, and that she could have gone back out of and escaped easily. But because that's the case, she goes through a different vent so she can get trapped for no fucking reason.
I love the fact that they all went, let's set fire to these plants in this high-tech area, and then the doors close and the oxygen gets sucked out, and they're all like, oh no, I couldn't believe this happened. It's like that standard.
What do you mean this ultra high-tech bio research facility has fire suppression systems? What? No, we're fucked. Oh dear.
It's the shot of the fucking one trying to punch at the glass that gets me. It's so fucking stupid. I'm like, are you, what? There's so many shots that they should have just deleted. But that's definitely one of the big ones. Like Riri flying through the air was another one when she got front kicked. Should have deleted that. The shot of Slug and the slow-mo that's the background here. I should have deleted that. Just
The shot
you
of
could have
Slug
improved.
typing.
Yeah, just
Keep it in.
remove scenes,
Keep it
and you
in.
could have reduced the cringe by like 5% in this whole show.
What do you think this was 8 episodes and they cut it down?
It does
'Cause
feel like that in places.
I would love to get the full unedited version of just how much of a car crash that would be. Or you might actually get some context to what the fuck is going on half the time.
Well, what I think we need to address what's it called? There's one scene here that I feel needs to 100% be addressed. The Ironhead scene. I stand by that being not only the best scene in this whole series, but one of the best Disney Plus MCU like moments ever. It actually worked on like every level you could think of.
Completely
And it's
agree.
an insight to what this character should have been if she was well written. You tie it back to her history. Like, and I've been saying this for 2 years now. She only had 2 good scenes in Wakanda Forever, and they both involved her family. One was trying to call her mom. The other was mentioning that she learned her mechanical skill from her father when she got that same car. You needed to tie into that and, use the family dynamic here. And the Ironhead scene, they fucking nailed. And it's surrounded by absolute nonsense. I don't know how they pulled that off.
Point, the scene works really well in isolation, but it actually belongs to a different show.
Yes,
because
yes.
it doesn't comport with who she is, what we've seen her do, what any of these people are, what the backstory really is. Like, it could have been. There's a bunch of stuff in it that could have been really, really interesting to explore. The whole Natalie thing, the whole family reunion arc. Like, what do all these people make of the fact that you've accidentally recreated the most important person in several people's lives? Nothing. We get nothing. He just assumes that it basically functionally is the dead friend as opposed to being an AI. Not even really a conversation to establish it. And then no one else really interacts with it properly. So the one person who almost does is Xavier, who's the only person who has like half a brain in the entire show. And he correctly says, no, this is a weird, horrific skin suit. You have to delete it.
What the fuck?
Well, that's the thing. You'd very quickly
No.
find out because it's based on Riri's memories. Him having a conversation with it would quickly reveal that she has nothing. She's not the same character. That would be kind of interesting because it's only Riri's perception of whatever her face is. Can't remember her name. But like, no. But then she flies away. And then Riri goes, I can't believe you left me behind. I go, you were considering turning her off when Xavier asked you to. Of course, you ran away.
You should have turned her off the minute you knew that A, you couldn't control her, and B, she was in the fucking internet. She's terrifying. She has access to bank records. She gets into the 5G network. She controls your suit. Why are you not asking questions about what the fuck this thing is?
Oh god, she's worse than Skynet because she can do everything Skynet does, but she has a horrible personality.
They just never were willing to address the AI thing like an adult.
Imagine
like
Terminator's going, mm-hmm. That's what she is.
We have to shut down Skynet. Yo, bish. Nah, you.
Nah, yo. Oh god.
Hello,
black people.
Bruh.
Starts doing that.
Bruh. Like I never want to hear that word again.
All the T800 comes back with acrylic nails and dreads.
That's what we need. I think the Ironhead set I've seen in isolation was really effective, and then this guy killed it. We felt like you're actually watching a proper performance here that you can pay attention to. He did a really good job here. But why in this show where we might never see him again? It's just, if we're gonna go like the Gaia route and so many of the other routes with these characters that they introduce, we might never see Mephisto again for all we know.
I forgot Gaia.
Yeah,
Jesus,
that's what I mean.
There's a Skrull war going on that no one talks about. Going, oh, did you know there's 1 million aliens that are shapeshifters on this planet killing people? No one brings it up.
But I mean, they've wasted so many things like that in the past that could have been actually really interesting. So I wouldn't be shocked if we never get to see this guy again and do something with him.
It was fitting though that like of all the characters in the show, all of Riri's family, all the people she meets, all the people she works with, the only one who really understands her and gets her and sees the potential in her is Satan.
Yeah. Yeah.
But like, what's he gonna offer her? Because she goes, I want your soul. She doesn't have one. She's got a fucking black heart of just nothingness. She's just evil. She's probably eviler than him. He goes, fuck me, Riri. Even I wouldn't go that far. I wouldn't lie to my own mother and manipulate her.
It'd be cool if they explore that route, if the show is actually like aware of how terrible she is, but it generally sides with her. So
yeah, I
hard
saw
to
an
interpret his
interview.
scenes.
I saw an interview with the person that plays Riri. I forget her name. But they actually brought up that they were joking. They were like, "What's it like playing a villain in the MCU and you're the main character?" And she was offended by the question. So they did not write her to be that way for sure.
Yeah, they're not aware of how she comes off, and it's just strange, you know. Like
Well, it's all these
again,
shows.
it's like the inverse of Walker. They wanted him to be a villain, but they accidentally make him likable, which is they just don't know what they're doing.
Well, Black Falcon didn't realize. Well, because everyone calls him Black Falcon. He couldn't get bank loans, and they didn't realize that "you got to do better" speech was unbelievably cringeworthy. She-Hulk writers didn't realize that she was a drunken whore.
Yeah,
Like none of these writers have any sense of like what the fuck they're writing. Which I
Wonder
don't
Woman
know
is
how.
a rapist. She's a fucking rapist. She's a rapist, and they forgot.
Patty Jenkins, like some fan said, "Oh, because they've undone the wish, they've undone the rape," and Patty Jenkins went, "Yeah, I like that. I like that one."
I like that idea. That works for me. Oh my god, I don't know.
How do you have a woman accidentally rape a guy and then not realize it in your own script? Nobody walks past and go, "This is rape" in the theater or something like that.
Well, just the pattern you're highlighting is just a lack of self-awareness through and through. And the biggest thing for me is how can you be that consistently blind to your own projects? You know what I mean?
Well, if the characters are self-inserts, that kind of tells you what these people are like.
But
Because they live in a bubble and they have no idea. Like people hate them,
yeah.
so maybe that's why. Because the characters are basically them. It's like a Dorian Gray kind of thing. They look in the fucking picture and it's a piece of shit, and they go, "Why don't I look beautiful?"
But you think they'd learn from the reaction to their projects? Because like the Acolyte, for example, the way the fan base reacted to that, you think they would get some understanding of that approach isn't the way to go. Like morality matters when we're talking about these shows, whether it's Star Wars or superhero content. But they seem to completely forget that when they make characters like I can't even remember the twins and the Acolyte, and then Riri.
Well, they have blinders on because they automatically have like these fucking white blood cells, racist, bigot, sexist, boom, these things pop in and completely destroy any criticism.
Yeah,
they
don't have to justify it. They just say the ists or the isms. They just pick one of the buzzwords, then they don't actually have to justify it, which is so frustrating.
They did that, like not infrequently at the beginning of their show. If anyone did a video on it, probably had someone in their comment section saying, "Well, Tony Stark was a villain too, and you didn't criticize him. The only reason you're criticizing her but not him is because you're a racist." It's like, no. The only reason I'm criticizing her but not him is that like I watched the Iron Man film and you didn't, so I know the difference.
This is why my focus on Riri is directly comparing her to Tony, because I don't want any of that shit. I'm covering my ass when it comes to that. Tony, he is a character who he's willing to kill people. He's not one of those like no kill rule type of characters, but the justification is generally there. We have an idea of his thought process, and you can stay consistent. Like throughout all the movies, you can track his values, whether it's a spin-off, a solo film, a collaboration of the Avengers. We know what Tony, the type of person he is. You can't even track Riri's values scene to scene. Like it's like impossible. I have no idea what what she actually wants. Does she actually want to help people? Does she actually care that she let that guy suffocate? It's the Breaking Bad dilemma in season 1, where he had that dude who came back, he thought he was dead. Now he has to decide whether or not to kill him. And it's made for one of the most interesting dramas that set up, that entire show. This show just completely skips that and makes her a psychopath. It's so bizarre the approach they took.
In Iron Man 1, he's clearly defending innocent people from being gunned down by a bunch of jihadis. But there's also another layer to that because they're using his weapons. It's his fault. He's caused the scene. There's multifaceted layers to him doing, and also the scenes look great when he punches that guy.
I'm not sure if that's ever been topped. His first fight scene is just perfect. It's the way they cut the music. They didn't need a big soundtrack or anything. It's and it's an hour into the film. The motivation is so set, and you're all on board. You know exactly why he's there. You know exactly what he stands for, and what they've done by taking his gear and using it against him to hurt the innocent. You compare that to Riri, and you're just still struggling after 6 episodes to figure out her motivation and why she does the things she does. Tony, you get it in the first like 5 minutes.
He's also selling like weapons of mass destruction, but there's a degree of separation there versus actively killing someone with like your bare hands or just willingly allowing someone to die.
Show me the scene where Tony lets someone suffocate and die horribly.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just
the weapons being sold like on moral principles, and like he does believe that selling weapons is protecting US soldiers, protecting US interests. It is saving lives by stopping the enemy as quickly and efficiently as possible. He's naive and ignorant about the reality, partly because it's been hidden from him, because Obadiah has been lying to him. The minute he sees the reality of the thing, he changes and becomes the weapon against the stuff his company was doing without his knowledge. It's an important difference. Riri begins this show being told, this is the illegal shit you will be doing. And people are going to get hurt, inevitably. She sees people get hurt, and she carries on. She's like, yeah, just show me that money, bish, and then off we go.
Like, when are we getting paid? When are we getting paid? That was our only question when they were breaking down the heist. It's just
like when that guard got shot by the fucking bullets from Wanted. He got shot. She didn't even look back. She was like, yeah, bitch, that's what you get, and then flew off.
Fucking Parker said, oh, he'll be fine. No problem. She looks away, and they cut to the music of them partying. They don't have a moment to have her look back or linger or anything. Like, do the little thing, the minimum, the tiny effort of having her just glance back and then build on that, because they did have her say, Clown say, oh, Riri, why are you upset? Like someone almost got hurt. It's like, oh, don't worry, he's fine. What do you mean? Did you go check on him in the hospital? Did you make it there? You probably say they're bleeding.
Her fucking dead AI best friend is also trying to convince her that it's totally okay that she allowed that guy to die because it was self-defense. And it's like, no, dude, you're in your suit.
No.
Harmless.
The second she got in her suit, there's nothing that dude can do to her.
It's not only that she was in her suit, but he was suffocating and on his knees and unable to fight back. And also, she talked herself into that position by being Riri again, because she always does this. Like she could have tried to say like de-escalate it. John comes in and it's like, where the fuck is the hood? And why do you have a bit of his cloak? And she could have even something as simple as, look, I can explain this later. He's fine, but we need to get the others because they're dying. Look, all this will make sense, but there's more important things to do. Then he pins her against the table, and she still doesn't try to de-escalate. She just accuses him of murdering Stuart, whoever the fuck Stuart is. It's like she talks her way into this fight. She wins the fight. She becomes unstoppable because she has the suit. He's on his knees. He's suffocating, and then she leaves. The easiest way around this, if they wanted to leave it unambiguous, would be to have Natalie controlling the suit, taking her away. And she could say, no, take me back. We need to save him. And Natalie says, no, we can't. He's trying to kill you. Then you've got an interesting debate between the two of them. At the very least, you needed to acknowledge it and have some kind of conversation about what happened after the fact. But we don't get that either. It's an interesting scene, but the show doesn't really know what to do with it. And as presented, she is a villain. And there's not really many ways around that.
It's interesting based on what you can do with it. Like, I really like the idea of the suit taking over, and then you have the conflict between Riri and Natalie, and we can get probably a more substantive AI discussion. But they don't do anything with it, so the scene in isolation is almost disgusting. Because what bothers me the most about it is Hoodman saying go look for him, and then she goes and pretends to look for him when she knows he's literally like suffocating right now. Like, that's psycho. That is psychotic. I had struggle finding something to even compare it to in my video of just like, what the fuck? Like, because you usually have something that's way more, it's much better constructed than this, you know what I mean, in terms of exploring the no-kill rule. But there's so much wasted opportunity with Riri. I hate what this character represents, because it just, the sheer entitlement and ego blinded them from what could have been a decently interesting character. Because she's not a terrible actress, whatever her name is. I think Cassie from Ant-Man, America Chavez, all the bums that they tried to introduce in Marvel Phase 4 and 5. She's actually kind of, she's not bad. She's probably the best of them. But her story is so shit that we're not going to get anything from it. And we're probably never going to see her again.
It would be funny if they tried to complete her villain's arc by, she has a flashback and it turns out it wasn't a drive-by that killed her family. It was Riri with a nail gun. She's just killing everyone in her family. It's Riri, you've always been a fucking lunatic.
Psychopath. I think if you're gonna fix Riri, you got to go all the way back to Wakanda Forever. Even her introduction, blowing up the cops. You can't have the entire premise of the story like, is she good, is she bad, how she feel about it? Well, I'm thinking about nice one, Riri, the entire time while fucking Shuri's congratulating her for blowing up cops. You can't have that scene and then have the show function. You need that addressed. Like the Black Widow scene, her whole story is addressing her past, her bloody past. They don't address it with Riri at all. So just a lot of flaws with this character,
and it breaks the scene with Mephisto at the end as well, because Mephisto turns to her and says, all your life people have shut you out of opportunities, and they've looked down on you, and they've stopped you from being great. And it's like, no, they haven't. She was fully funded through MIT for 4 years. Fuck off.
Yeah.
Not just that, they made exceptions. They made exceptions. This is your 4th try, Riri, even though you had multiple disciplinary warnings.
They tried to reason with this blockheaded asshole, but she won't listen from the very beginning. And
they tailor-made a course for her. They do fucking everything.
But Mephisto, you can at least interpret it as him, like, manipulating her and telling her what she wants to hear.
Yeah, playing into her self-image.
Yeah, the problem is that works.
There's only so far I think you can go with that before she just becomes. I mean, she's a complete retard anyway, but like before she becomes completely retarded, because there is no. We're told she's a genius. She can't believe that people have kept her out of opportunities when she began the show by saying she didn't want those opportunities because she didn't want to go to Silicon Valley and pretend to like people in a small office. She said she didn't want the opportunities. People didn't deny them to her, but the scene proceeds as though she never said that and has never thought that. They needed to have committed to a character backstory and then have her consistently aware of what her position is in life with a consistent set of gripes. They don't have that. And so the final scene, I agree, probably is him appealing to her interests as she construes them. But we don't know what those are, and she doesn't know what those are because the show's given us several contradictory sets of them.
Her intro at the beginning, from the monologue of being great to the talk with her guidance counselors, none of that is reflected on the rest of the show. Like, they just completely ignore that scene. They needed to really commit to that. And so we have some foundation to work with this character. And that was the thing that I found most difficult when reviewing her, of just like, she's almost a different character in every episode, in every scene. You have no idea what she values. Even Mephisto, like, I don't, with him, like I said, it works because he can be, appealing to her, to telling her what she wants to hear. It doesn't work with Parker, because Parker says the same thing, like, oh, mediocre people not acknowledging your genius, like, and she doesn't deny it whatsoever. She really treats it like she should not have gotten expelled. They should have bent the knee to her, and there's no acknowledgement of the mistake that she made. There's never a lesson for this character. They even hint at it, but then they never actually follow through on it.
It is funny how Mephisto has to basically just lie to her and go, oh, you're always held back, Riri. He must be thinking, fucking hell, this girl is mentally ill. Every episode is different.
But that's us. That's our headcanon. We're hoping he's lying to her, like, manipulating the scene. For all we know, the show actually thinks that. But there's wiggle room with him. There isn't wiggle room with Parker.
There is, yeah, exactly. I mean, he's clever. He can just be lying to her. He can be, because like a lot of, like when he says stuff like, I've done deals with everyone on the top 100 of the Forbes richest list or whatever. So that doesn't need to be true. That just she just needs to believe that that's true. She needs to believe that the people richer than her got there via this means, because it's what she wants. He's identified what she wants, and he is now sort of not lying to her, but he's giving her the impression that they've all got that way because they did deals with him. Fairly clever. Could be really interesting. Shame it's in this show. It doesn't work with anybody else. It doesn't work with her, unfortunately.
Well, Faustian deals are always great because, like, has anyone played The Witcher 3? The expansion pack, Heart of Stone?
No, I've not.
It's basically this, where he basically meets a guy called Gaunt O'Dim, which is G-O-D, God. And he basically is he's super charming, he's super funny, but he sticks a spoon in the guy's eye. He's like a fucking psycho. But I say, you could do so much with just Mephisto as the main villain, pulling strings, lying to people.
He could have fixed so many things.
Oh, but she's the fucking stupid, the absolute retard. She's the world's smartest retard. That's the only way to describe her.
They spent the whole series telling us she's smart. They never really showed it. We never got a moment to really
can't because they aren't smart.
But this is the woman's journey, the modern woman's journey. It's like Mulan, the witch who has all this power and she threatens the warlords, but she needs male recognition. Riri, unbelievably intelligent, can create everything, needs recognition. That's all these women's arcs are just, You men need to listen to me and see I'm just as good as you are. That's
it's not overcoming a journey. It's being perfect from the start, and the story is about everyone else finding that out. It's consistently
Why don't you
the hero's journey.
me?
It's crazy. And you were mentioning the concept of Mephisto. They do this with Griffith in Berserk, way better. They do it in the House of Usher, way better. Way better. It's a concept that can be really fun to see. A deal with the devil type thing, especially if the character is already established as someone that would take that deal. And then the aftermath is always very interesting. They just can't even be fucked. They can't even be bothered in this show, man.
Well, thank God it's over. That's it. It's dead. Ironheart came out and it died.
It is dead.
Like a stillborn baby. It came out, it screamed, it shit everywhere, and then it died.
Pretty much. For all these years. And it's a shit. It's probably worse than we all expected, too. Like, we knew it was going to be crap, but didn't think it was going to be this, like, embarrassing. I didn't think it'd be this cringe.
Man, these shows have hurt MCU more than anyone.
100%.
Because he just... Well, that's the type of thing. Has there been one good TV show?
Not one.
Half of WandaVision. Three episodes.
Three episodes is us being generous, because it's... And again, it's not... If you... And those episodes are retroactively made worthless when you actually understand what's going on.
They were worthless.
3 episodes of immersion and intrigue, if you forget the rest, right? But there's not a single good show that's like worth rewatching. Not one. There's people who say Loki. No, Loki shit. Loki is trash. I know there were some good performances, and it's like it's probably the most likable of the shows, but it's absolute trash. It makes no fucking sense. It's broken. It's just Tom Hiddleston acting his ass off trying to hard carry that shit. But there's not a single good show. They
take Loki from Avengers and they make him watch a collage of his future self. His future self, and that somehow fast forwards his character arc to where he is in Infinity War by watching himself.
He spends half the season crying. He just watches a supercut of all the evil things he did. This is a god. He's like thousands of years old or some shit. This is not. He wouldn't just fucking cry and then feel, oh my god, I've been so terrible. Like it's just
that would be like watching
Avengers
AI.
Loki.
That would be like watching an AI version of yourself do something else. If I watch an AI version of myself being nice to people, I'd go, well, that's clearly not me.
Yeah, that's not me. Like, what do you guys do? Get the fuck. Like, I would have loved to see the real Loki just roasting them in that scene. Get the fuck out of here, and then trying to kill him or something. And the Infinity Stones. Having the Infinity Stones in the drawer is like, yeah, okay. So, way to just shit on the entire last arc, the one that actually had meaning, and you're gonna make it a joke. Like, you could just use them as paperweights.
But yeah, I think it's got to be Disney Plus has basically killed Marvel.
Yeah,
because you have to keep churning out this dog shit show for content. You need more content on the streaming site.
It's just become a content farm. And imagine where the MCU would be. Endgame, with all its problems, if they took a big break from Endgame and we never got all these shows and we actually were kind of hyped up for some new MCU content, imagine where we'd be right now.
Because, they're not even slowing down either, man, because they said they're looking for quality over quantity, so they're doing 3 movies and 3 shows max. And I was like, isn't that exactly the schedule you've had for 5 years? What the fuck are you talking about?
They don't know what they're doing.
You're gonna kill this. It's going to be driven 20 feet into the ground.
That reminds me of the Homer where he goes, there's the right way, the wrong way, and the Homer Simpson way. Isn't that the wrong way? Yeah, but faster.
Faster. I love that line. That's such a great line to summarize Homer's character. Oh my god.
So, in other news, I don't know if you guys have heard, but James Gunn has been talking a lot lately. He told the Times, James Gunn is Superman is the story of America, says James Gunn, an immigrant that came from another place. But for me, it is mostly a story that says basic human kindness is a value and is something we have lost. He also said, oh, go ahead, Reaper.
I said that last part was complete bullshit. He doesn't believe that. But the problem is like, if an alien can be an immigrant, is Predator an immigrant? Is the Xenomorph an immigrant?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
What does that mean?
Well, he also, to add on to this, he also explicitly said that it's political in nature. The movie will be. So, I don't know, man. Like, my gut reaction when I hear that is like, isn't that exactly what we've been asking
not to do?
People to get rid of? Yeah, like please don't put that in your movie anymore.
And if that's in the movie and it's incorporated in a way that makes sense from someone with talent, you shouldn't have to advertise that. Just let it speak for itself, and then we can decide after. But when you say my movie's going to be political, that's not making me want to go watch it, dude. You know what I mean? It's like you need to. I just feel like they need to get back to the basics with this one, and it's got all this crap around it. And does anyone feel like they're just sick and tired of this movie and it hasn't even come out yet? All the scenes and all this.
Absolutely.
I'm just burnt out. Like sick of this.
I just feel like it's this narcissism that's within someone who's writing a screenplay, and they feel like it's their mission to make this political. Like it's it's a must for them. Otherwise they'll betray themselves. I hate that.
Yeah, what we will get, like, no, it's the whole thing. He keeps going, it's immigrant, it's this, it's Indian. Oh wait, I love Indian. It's based on Bollywood. Like, it won't be any of these things. The film will be quite simple. James Gunn's just made it way worse than it had to be. He won't shut the fuck up. And the problem is, he clearly is insecure. He clearly is like nervous about the film. He's taking everyone's critiques online because. Even though he pretends not to care, like when the guy hits him in the back of the head and he blinks, that's being edited out.
Yeah, it's so true. If he didn't care, you would not have changed that.
And the other one where like he's flying and the camera's on his face and everyone criticized it, and then James Gunn about 3 months later said, "Yeah, that just got past me somehow. It's not going to be in the movie. I know we spent probably millions of dollars putting it together and editing it and creating it, and then we put it out into publicity material for the biggest film this studio has this year. But it was an accident. We didn't mean to put it out.
Whoops, that just got by me." But like,
he's such a fucking liar, man. It's crazy.
Yeah, he is, and the thing is though, he's clearly terrified about the movie because if you look back at the old interviews, he said he was miserable during the filming of Superman because I don't think he has much faith in this movie. It's gonna make money purely on the brand and the marketing, and it's the new DCU. People will go check it out. But if this film is shit, Supergirl will definitely be shit, and that's basically Zack Snyder territory, where you basically just spiral the toilet as the turd sinks.
And you can have a second or third movie in a new franchise or IP. Like if you're creating a full universe, you can have a second or third movie be shit, but the foundation, the first film, has to be great.
Yes.
You cannot start on
Iron Man.
footing.
Iron Man is the example. Iron Man 2 and 3, nobody talks about those.
Right.
There's a lot of shitty movies in the MCU. People ignore the fuck out of the Incredible Hulk. There's so many things that people skip, but as long as you have that
was number
fundamental one.
That was the second film. That was the one that actually said there was going to be Avengers, the one that tied everything together, and nobody cared. They recast the main character.
You'd think they would learn from this one here.
The Snyderverse had one really, really big hit, right? Which I think was the third. Aquaman somehow made like $1 billion or whatever it was. And it's like, okay, but your Batman and your Superman films and your crossover films have been shit. So nobody cares. But that movie can make money. It's still not going to save what you're creating here. And say, it'll be really interesting to see, because I don't see this movie making $1 billion. I think it will be.
Oh, absolutely not. He already got in front of it earlier in the last couple days and said that we're crazy if we think it needs to make 700 million.
Ooh.
So he's really getting in front of this.
What's the budget on this?
It's gonna be at least
about 400 million.
What?
Yeah,
really?
Yeah, I think that includes the marketing, I suppose. But
then it definitely needs to make at least 700 million.
Like 800.
Where would you rank this in terms of marketing campaigns? Like, I think this is one of the worst.
Bad, man. This is
but like
a misguided campaign
compared to like the top. I always mention like Black Panther, Barbie, Blair Witch projects. Like those are like top tier marketing for me. But this is towards like the complete opposite end. It's like they've botched it in so many different ways. I don't ever remember being so sick of a movie that's never even come out. It's a strange feeling.
Honestly, it just looks like shit, and it's the cinematographer.
Yeah.
If it didn't look like it did, maybe I'd have a different opinion on it. But it's a really offensive, like they've turned the chrome up, like in The Flash, because it's the same cinematographer. It just, I don't know.
Why would you hire the cinematographer from
offensive.
The Flash to do your Superman film? Did you
It's
watch
offensive.
that film, James?
Bro,
Well,
the
everyone
baby in
said,
the microwave. How do you not
everyone
lose all
thought-
your jobs after that?
everyone thought James Gunn was a liar because he said that's the best movie he ever saw. But then he hired the guy, so I'm thinking, oh no, he thinks that's a good movie.
The best case scenario is that he's a liar.
Yeah.
It's like, otherwise, he's mad. It's an awful
How can you look
looking
at that?
film.
Yeah, how can you look at that with a creative eye and say that's quality? That's all I remember about the Flash is that it looked like dog shit. Like that's pretty much the main thing.
Yeah, that's an interesting point, is they keep releasing these 40, 50-second clips, but they don't really show anything. They don't really do anything. It's
No
mostly just about
context.
Crypto or about another dog. Like he catches the foot and there's another dog on screen, has to blow it away. The other one is, Crypto's destroyed the fucking Fortress of Solitude again.
It's just gonna make them
it.
less impactful when we finally have context for them as well. I don't get that. You just
And everything
don't
of Superman
spoil
is just
full
him
scenes.
screaming.
Yeah.
Yeah, or
It
being
is.
nagged by Lois Lane. It's like I don't really need to see him being interviewed about Middle Eastern geopolitics. It's not what I'm in my Superman movies for. But I guess like the marketing has been successful in one way, and like it is quite good at getting people to be talking about the film. That's primarily the job of marketing: drum
I
up
guess that's true.
impressions, drum up interest. I don't think it's yet confirmed to anyone that this is going to be an absolutely appalling movie. It hasn't come out and said this is going to be an excellent movie either. It's like most of the engagement seems to be, I'm not sure about this. But that might still work because it is interest. It conveys that people are curious about the movie to see what it actually ends up being. Then, of course, it's on the burden of the film to actually be good and justify it and surprise people. But it's primarily been like James Gunn distancing himself from Marvel and then giving you cute dogs and then saying, hey, this is a different kind of Superman. He's an old-fashioned, nice Superman and also sometimes an immigrant. And it's all about
screaming.
happiness and kindness, except where it's not. I don't know what to make of it, which may be the impression they're going for. I don't know.
Well, it'd be funny if Lois Lane was interviewing him and she goes, to the river, to the sea. What do you think, Superman? Israel has a right to defend itself. He starts doing that.
Oh my god.
He gets real heavy. He goes, I'm just saying Kim Jong-un, great leader.
Why is this hyper focus for this movie, man? Like this should be a very straightforward premise when it comes to Superman, especially if he's trying to get away from all the Snyder stuff. But he just seems like he's adding all these variables that make it difficult to get excited for this movie.
Yeah, James Gunn is the worst thing about this movie.
Yes, super good. I'm so
Which
tired
is-
of it.
Which is insane. Like the director of the movie is actively pissing off the fans to see it.
And he
You'd
was
think-
originally the thing that gave it any semblance of hope at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny how that's completely shifted after seeing the
Mhm.
marketing.
Because he was all you got was he was from Guardians, he did Suicide Squad. I like those movies. I'm sure this one will be good. Then he's just basically been about 75% of the marketing is him.
Superman's James Gunn.
Oh, it's fucking super good, man.
Yeah. And the quote on screen as well, because I read like into the article to see what like if he actually said anything at all substantive that will give us more of a lead. Because I don't mind necessarily him saying that it's the story of America and it's about kindness, because that's vague and it's fucking beige bullshit and it could mean anything. And you go into the article, there's not much more than that, but he does say like the movie might play differently depending on your beliefs. Then he continues, but it's about human kindness. Obviously, there will be jerks out there who are just not kind and will take it as offensive just because it is about kindness, but screw them. Which, like, that sort of gets my alarm bells ringing a little bit more because everything depends on what James Gunn's view of human kindness is. Is he going to be preachy? Is he going to be basically saying, immigrants are good, and if you don't like immigrants, you're unkind, so screw you? Or is he going to be making the universal case, which is no, kindness is a complicated thing and we express it in different ways? Because if it's the former, it's just going to piss a bunch of people off because it's going to be typical Hollywood moralizing bullshit, which is the opposite of what this film really needs to be. So
I think it'll be the worst of both. He will go for he'll have bits of immigrants, we need them because, support us, but he won't go all in. So he'll kind of touch on it, but not commit. So it'll be like half-assed kind of, we need immigrants, but human kindness in general. Like every Fast and Furious film is about family.
They just find a way.
Or Fantastic Four,
Amen.
where they go family, but they don't really fucking say anything or do anything. It'd be the most surface level interpretation of it.
Which is the best case scenario, really, because otherwise the problem with a lot of these movies, the preachy movies have in particular, is they take moralizing people have a real difficulty giving like theory of mind for their opponents, and so when lots of these people say kindness, and if you don't agree with me, you're evil, they don't really realize that they're being unkind, and they attribute like anti-immigration sentiment to unkindness as opposed to no, we are still kind, but in a different we think, or some people might say we think. It is actually unkind to the people already here to invite unvetted people in. Or we think it might be unkind to incentivize people smuggling because that hurts children. There are kind ways to disagree on immigration policy.
No, that's too smart. It's open the border, and if you don't, they talk like Anakin Skywalker. You're either with me or you're against me.
Children, oh my god. Yeah, you guys are totally right. This is going to be watered down, safe. The safest version of that concept you can possibly imagine.
But if it's not, then it's going to piss people off because it is going to basically say Superman is immigration, and if you don't like Superman, you don't like immigration. You can't like either, and you're a dick. And it's don't do that, James, because that's retarded. That's really, really, really stupid. I think most people would probably be fine with immigrants if all immigrants were Superman. And if they all said truth, justice, and the American way, I don't think people would have a problem with immigrants who did that. The problem is lots of people don't think that's the representative immigrant these days.
Exactly.
So the more you can keep this out of your movie, James, the better, probably. But given you bringing it up in interviews, not convinced. Maybe this is still him trying to apologize for insulting India. Who knows?
This should not be a priority, man. It just seems like this is more of its major focus than actually developing the character.
But it's the whole point of he just said, oh, some Indian halfway around the world I don't listen to. Then he went, this film is based on Bollywood. Bollywood is just dripping throughout this movie. It's like, you can't even lie properly.
Yeah, he's trying to please everyone. That's one of the things that seems so insecure about him. He just desperately seems to want to please everybody. He should know that he can't do that.
It shows he's not confident in the movie. It shows back to the immigrant thing. No, I think there'll be two scenes. There'll be a newspaper that says Superman, immigrant from the stars. There'll be something like that. Then when he's talking to Lois Lane and he intervenes in that conflict with the brown people. Like she'll go, oh, immigration, and he'll go, I'm an immigrant, and that's basically all you'll get. That's what I think.
Yeah, I could see that. I mean, it has to be fake to work. Otherwise, because I think we went through that interview. I think we were on George the Giant Slayer stream. We actually watched the interview, the Indian clip, and it's it is actually really, really innocuous what he says. But it is funny that it's just of all, you probably wouldn't in the current climate. Indians are probably just not the people you want to mention. Also, it's quite a big movie market, I think, and it's a growing one. Maybe pissing off all of India before your film launches isn't a great idea. But hell, props to James Gunn for not doing an interview apologizing to India while eating chicken tikka masala and saying, I'm down with the Indians.
Some biryani.
I love takeaway. Immigrants are good.
He should have done Justin Trudeau when he wore the headband and the dot on the forehead.
Oh, that fucking loser. Okay, don't even remind me of him. I'm stuck with that asshole.
The Indians were wearing suits and he was wearing a fucking Indian outfit, and you're like, what the fuck are you doing?
He's such a fucking loser, man. You guys don't have to deal with him. I see his face everywhere.
I'm surprised he didn't come out doing the fucking neck movement and going ding 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 ding. Should have done that.
He's such a simp, man. It's just so phony the way he approaches it. And I'm just gonna talk when you guys are mentioning go ahead, Platoon.
Well, it's it works on sort of both ways, because for Republicans, it's how many abortions does your political leader have to pressure his girlfriend into before you'll drop him? And the answer is 6 or 7, as it turns out. But then for the other side, for Democrats, it's how many times does your favorite leader have to do blackface before you say he's not a good dude?
I know.
And in Justin Trudeau's case, it's 4 or 5 and he's still fine. So I don't know what the rules really are anymore.
The marketing campaign against him back in the day when he first got elected was it's Justin Trudeau. He's just not ready. And I remember how well that's fucking aged, completely. They were totally right, the smear campaign. I'm just I remember thinking, man, that's so fucking rude. I almost want to vote for that guy out of spite because I was just ignorant at the time. And Yeah, the way that quote is aged, it's incredible. He is so fucking delusional. But I just wanted to mention before you move off the topic of Gunn, compare Gunn and his insecurity to someone like Nolan, who just has confidence in his project. He's not going to go say so much in the media beforehand, and he's just going to deliver his project, and it is what it is. Whether it's something great like The Prestige or something like all over the place like Tenet and some other things, but he'll stand by his projects. He's
it's an interesting one because Nolan's like, he's a bit of a Teflon guy because like loads of his movies suck. But nobody really holds them against him. Whereas James Gunn's like seems to be terrified that people will start holding them against him, and so he has to get out in front of it and say like, no, this is a James Gunn film, and that's a sign of quality.
Yeah,
fair enough.
Well, he's not embarrassingly bad like Zack Snyder, who what's that? Do it, kill her. He doesn't have scenes like that where people quote in how shit it is. His films, when they're bad, they're kind of boring bad. Yeah. But they're
bad with potential. That's usually it.
Like the whole Tenet thing, I found it at least interesting what he was trying to do. But
you would be interested in a bad Nolan film. You would never be interested in a bad Snyder film. That's the thing.
Well, they're all bad. I wasn't interested.
That is most Snyder films, to be fair.
True. Pretty true.
But that's the type of thing, though, is plus he's professional. He doesn't go, I want one half of my audience to die.
Yeah, he's not a Ryan Johnson.
That. And shockingly, everyone seems to at least, if not like him, respect him.
Yeah, it's a really interesting comparison of just like you can have a movie that isn't big success, but we see what you're approaching there. You see at least the goal you're trying to achieve. But then you have people like Snyder, and you just have to laugh at his feeble attempts. Like Rebel Moon is a joke.
I was laughing when they're playing the orchestra as they start killing the Emperor.
It's like, such a brilliant movie. Like, everything about those is great.
Quickly play the violin. We're gonna kill him.
And I know we're all wearing masks, but somehow we're playing the music in time to the murder. What?
Oh, God, Snyder, man.
Oh no, the original title for the short version of these films wasn't edgy enough. We need to rename them. So it's Zack Snyder's Rebel Moon, Chalice of Blood, followed by Zack Snyder's Rebel Moon, The Curse of Forgiveness. Fuck off, Zack.
The edgy king. He's such a freaking weirdo, man. Oh my God.
And then like, our ships are powered by dead people. Coal. It's like, fuck. Isn't that edgy? No, it's not. It's fucking childish.
This is where I don't understand his fan base. Like Dawn of the Dead's probably like one of his best films, and wasn't that written by James Gunn?
Maybe.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was. I'm pretty sure like he doesn't like a lot of the things that he gets credit for. He wasn't actually, he wasn't the cinematographer for a lot of the movies that he gets a lot of the credit for the cinematography. And I just don't know why he has such a strong fan base. Like the DCU stuff shouldn't be enough to carry him.
I don't know why he's like a cinematographer because all his films look like shit. I've always hated his style.
I think it was just when he started doing it originally, it was like that, particularly 300, right? That sort of first hyper stylized particular technique, using the slow motion, which has now been sort of done to death. But I guess at the time it was done, it was very distinctive.
Sorry, go ahead.
Well, no, I was like, I've never massively liked it myself, but like, I understand that he would get a reputation as a cinematographer for doing something which is so visually distinctly his own. Like, I understand where the reputation might come from.
But he did it way better before. Like I actually made a video comparing 300 to Rebel Moon and the way they use slow-mo. Rebel Moon's, I can't remember every single point I made, but they actually had a thought process when they used it in 300. They were emphasizing certain character moments or certain death scenes. There's no thought process behind the slow-mo in Rebel Moon. All of it was just nonsense. And I hate that those get thrown into the same bag, but it's not true. They 300 did it way better. You can do slow motion in an effective way.
The point is that you use slow motion like conventionally, you use it to highlight a particularly dramatic moment. So when Peter Jackson goes and like the odd slow motion scene in The Lord of the Rings is usually when something very tragic or dramatic is happening. So Boromir's death or Gandalf falling off the bridge, like that stuff, the action has to slow down to allow the time for the audience to appreciate the thing that's just occurred. Zack Snyder comes along and it's like, fuck it, grain. CGI, burger bun seed, CGI, hot dog sausage, CGI.
Yep.
Slow motion.
There's no point to it.
What?
To add to your point, Helm's Deep, Haldir, the elf that gets killed, and Aragorn has like a moment of actually like mourning him. It only works because of the slow-mo. We can't actually just pause all the action. But as you're having this moment of like letting go of a friend, you see all the Uruk-hai gathering around him, and Aragorn has to make an escape using the ladder. So the slow-mo actually has purpose. The logistics aren't screwed because we can see the people swarming him, and we actually get a chance to mourn a friend and like acknowledge a death instead of just ignoring it. But
even in 300,
good way to use it.
Even in 300, although it does indulge itself a little bit too much, when he does the Sparta kick, that's him as a big moment in the film. He rejects Persian submission.
It's a decision. It's not just an action sequence.
I don't know
we are
why.
officially at war.
Though I think there were moments in the movie where it wasn't quite like it did still probably overuse it. I remember the South Park parody, the Lesbos bar, where like they use the slow motion and that as well. It's like it's Mrs. Garrison making coffee and it's all in slow motion and it's hyper dramatic.
From my memory, the first half of the movie used it much better than the second. But
it was the fight.
I was surprised by like even emphasizing teamwork in one of the slow motion sequence. I appreciated, but Zach just does it like you said, fucking sesame seed, shove it in wherever.
He's like Kylo Ren. He just goes more every 5 seconds. There's already a lot of slow mo scenes. More. Just does that
process. Oh, it's fucking terrible, man.
Let's get to the super chats that we were supposed to get to a long time ago.
Yeah, that was like half an hour.
That was a little while ago. So now we have more super chats since then. Well, we'll start off with TGV Monster, as we do every week. Hi, everyone, especially Reaper. Happy Monday. Especially you, Reaper.
Welcome back.
Hello. This Monday's horrible. It's the worst day of the week. And I hope we made it worse.
Yeah.
He also says, I would love a Dino Crisis movie. Make it a hard R. Have Regina be sexy in killing dinosaurs. It would be better than this slop. He also says, women. Yeah, attractive women. Well, they got that down with ScarJo and then patted her up. So remember, Ironheart was made before a War Machine and Blade movie, but this was more important. MCU deserves to rot.
Blade, arguably the godfather of the Marvel movies, and War Machine, someone who's been around since Phase 1, the first Iron Man movie. He's been sitting here, and Riri is more of a priority. I hate that.
Well, War Machine would have to explain how he got replaced by a Skrull.
Fucking half of his screen time is deleted because of Secret Invasion. It sucks. His character got fucking wasted, man.
TGB Monster also gifted 1 Little Platoon membership, and also said, by the way, get fucking Cuckman and the Potato Goblin. Run back to your next video game flop. HBO should have known better.
What's happened with Cuckman?
Well, he's left The Last of Us TV show. He's not doing season 3, right? He's going back to focus on Naughty Dog and Intergalactic, the Heretic Prophet, the next hit game.
Oh, he's a snake. He's a male feminist. He's leaving a sinking ship. The fucking rat.
Every time
slithering away.
Every time I hear Cuckman, I just think it's Chris Stuckman. I was so confused.
But he's the same person. He just takes his wig off.
TGV Monster also says, don't forget to read the super chats and gifted subs that happened before the stream started. That is what we're on it right now. This is a paid message from the foundation of TGV Monster. Haikira says, Platoon spent 10 hours yesterday trying to avoid talking about Ironheart by focusing on cheese hats and movie trivia. Now he has
to back.
To be fair, we had spent like 7 hours talking about Ironheart before we moved into cheese hats.
Needed
and then
a big
trivia.
Cheese break. Giant cheese break. Break out the trivia, whatever we can to stall.
And it was Friggy's fault. He just decided that the rules of segues didn't apply anymore, so he could just talk about anything he fucking wanted. So I was like, well, okay, cheese.
Shattered the rules completely. You said that half jokingly, and it led to like 4 more hours of the stream. Just like,
before we start, like 2 days even, I think, before we actually started, when we said, well, we're going to do an Ironheart bonus Wednesday, but let's try and keep it short because, you know, we've got Jurassic. It's going to be long. We don't need to do that long on Ironheart. And then it ends up like fucking twice as long. God damn it.
Good luck. Well, there's to be fair, there's much more to say about Ironheart than there is about Jurassic, like Afterbirth. Like we just brushy touched on it, and you pretty much saw the whole movie. Whoever hasn't seen it, like there's not much we missed. The Snickers, boring family, boring characters, some
No
dinosaurs, and then that's it.
My Tigger says, I just rewatched the Cowboy Bebop series. If you haven't seen it, give it a try. The episodes are short and the neo-noir story is very engaging. Don't watch the new series. It will give you PTSD.
Oh, yeah. Isn't that the one where they made the character Jet Black? They casted a guy who was actually Jet Black.
Jesus Christ.
It's just his name. It wasn't his race.
Even Slug in Ironheart, if in the comics, she's a big fat dude like Kingpin. But it's the weirdest race swap you'll ever see. But...
Well, you know why she's called Slug? Because he ectoplasms all over the place.
Oh my god, is that true? It's like, what the fuck?
No, that's my headcanon. Why else would you call him Slug? He leaves trails everywhere. He masturbates all over the place.
Come under the fingernails.
Come under fire. Type Sarah says, when the devil praises your MC, you done fucked up.
Yep.
Yeah. And I wish they were at least had the self-awareness to make that story reasonable. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. The fact that we're sitting here with Riri talking to the devil, and I genuinely don't know how she feels about this, whether or not this is a conflict for her at all. That's a failure.
Jeremy Soden says, what's the total runtime for talking about Ironheart at this point, Plutz? Have you had enough
okay.
yet?
So across the 2 videos of potentially 6 I've already done, that's an hour and 45. And then 3 hours, well, I mean, part of the 3-hour FNT stream was Ironheart. I'd say that maybe an hour of that, then 10 hours and a half on EFAP, and another couple of hours here. So many hours have been devoted to discussions of this fucking god-awful show. And I somehow still need to finish the videos on it, so it's going to be even more. Too much is the answer.
It'd be 24 hours, an entire day of talking about dog shit.
Fucking
God.
Talking about ass. God,
what has life become?
Gallster 1908. Hello, everyone. Thanks for your advice last time on writing my first short story for my own setting. After rewriting it at least 20 times, it's finally finished. Next step is to translate it into English.
Oh, good luck with that.
Congratulations.
Yeah, no experience doing translations or anything like that. That can be a long, tough job, but it's probably worth it. You learn a lot from that process, I'd imagine.
You got to be careful for translators, because have you seen the anime translators where a girl will go, "Oh, I like you," and then the translator will translate it to "fuck off, incel."
Yeah, this is why you don't outsource it to fucking localizers. Do it yourself or don't do it at all.
Yeah, use ChatGPT, more safe. Because, like, even Japan have went, these fucking localizers are a real problem.
I don't think I'd even trust ChatGPT to do it, because there's actually a thing with, there's a Latin phrase for it, and I can't remember what it is, but, like, there's a doctrine in translation, which basically means where you encounter a word that is really unusual in its setting, most translators will substitute the more natural word in that setting. But actually, more often than not, the more unusual the word is, the more accurate the translation is. Because it's unusual, the author put it there for a reason. But ChatGPT isn't trained to understand that. It doesn't really get context in that sense. So ChatGPT will probably fuck your story up and make it way more simple if it doesn't think a word you've used belongs where you've put it. But actually, you might have a really good reason for doing that. So there's most Shakespeare plays of Romeo and Juliet, for example, change an entire big character speech. They take it from Lord Capulet and they give it to Lord Montague, I think, instead, which actually fundamentally changes the story. But they do that because some idiot beforehand translated it and made a mistake, but then everyone else did the same thing. And actually it destroys most of the character in that process. So always do it yourself. ChatGPT is last recourse. And localizers never.
The advice is learn English or learn a completely different language because everyone's untrustworthy.
Yeah, trust no one. Fuck them.
Patrick's Based Life. A butterfly flaps its wings in pecking and a scientist drops a Snickers wrapper in a lab. Chaos theory or something. Chaos theory.
They found a stupider way. It's incredible.
Life
I didn't think they could top
way.
Yeah. I didn't think they'd top the tooth, but here we are.
Like, he's in he's in his biohazard suit and the fucking helmet's up. He's eating a fucking what kind of biohazard suit has like a fucking like a helmet that comes off, a face mask that just lifts up?
Who's eating at work during this type of in such a delicate area? Like, why do you have a fucking Snickers bar? It's just stupid. It should never happen.
And even then, like, how does one door malfunctioning open all the doors in your facility when you're trying to keep dinosaurs in? That sounds like a stupid system to have.
No precautions whatsoever. They need you to be stupid. It's such a necessary component for these films. They can never think of a clever way ever again. Just copy the first one. Give a different version of the Nedry character. But they don't have the time anymore. Just Snickers bar. Fuck it.
You could at least make a joke, and then you see the door is written in it says "Made in China," and he goes, "Oh," and he tries to use a fire extinguisher, and it doesn't work, and he looks, he goes, "Made in UK," and he goes, "Oh." You could at least make a joke.
It's what I mean. They turn it into a joke instead of trying to make something humorous, or it just something more lighthearted. That didn't open up and make me think we're gonna have a lighthearted movie now. It just made it seem like it's stupid. Like, I have no faith in this film from the very beginning.
Intent matters. Reaper looked like that sorceress from the Wheel of Time with an iron jaw.
oh yeah, she can take a punch, couldn't she, from Mike Tyson? She has like an iron jaw. Yeah. What happened? It looked like she had a normal head, and then someone put it in like a square machine to make squares. Yeah. That's a woman who hit the wall and won't accept it, and will do everything she possibly can to look young, and it's making her look like a freak.
I feel awful that we somehow missed this one. Our good friend Toivo Korhonen sent in 2 super chats totaling $100. Here's a new game I'm trying. I have a random quote from Little Platoon. I want someone from the panel to read it while mimicking Platoon's voice. Platoon has to know which from his videos the quote has been taken from. Well, who's going to do it, I guess?
I can't even speak normal English.
I'm touching my nose right now.
It's Cynic. This might be up to you.
Women being an alien species, it felt a bit like living on an occupied Earth, where our
I'll mute.
Our strange new masters have taken over our infrastructure and put it to their own nefarious and potentially genocidal purposes. My world is dead.
That is not the worst thing I've heard in the world, but it is quite funny.
Hey, there we go.
I mean, me shitting on women could be from literally any video.
I mean,
so I'm going to take a guess and say this. I think this one is Barbie, but I could be wrong. It might be She-Hulk. I think it's Barbie, though. We'll never know.
We'll never know. We just won't know. No one's sending in the answer. So
he just pieced out.
Yeah. Damn. Well, thank you very much for the super chat. Our friend Mega Spider-Man Cynic, it was cool to see you back on Mr. Brown, and it would be cool to see Dark Sith Lord Cord back too. To all, fave Superman and Lex, and why? And you didn't say when I asked last week.
Smallville, both of them.
I thought we did. I remember doing this because I remember somebody mentioning Smallville, and I went. Who did I go for? Henry Cavill and someone. Only because I know very little about Superman.
I'd go from the animated series. Clancy Brown as Lex Luthor. He was fucking cool. Like, Darkseid shows up and he's beating up Superman, and Lex Luthor shows up in his business suit and he says, "Forgive me, I'm late. I had to get my power suit." And it's just a tuxedo. I'm like, yeah, that guy's fucking awesome. And he's voiced by Clancy Brown.
I don't actually know who else has played Lex Luthor. Who else has played Lex Luthor?
Jesse Eisenberg.
Okay, so that's the wrong answer, but yeah.
You're so
and
shit.
he leaves a jar of piss on the fucking desk.
Oh well. Right. this is where the stream goes wrong. Cynic has stepped away. I am now in charge of Super Chats. I think I found where we left off, but this could be wrong. Wonder 108 for $10. People are bored of dinosaurs, not of humans, though. This is a double meaning. Not only are the humans the most boring part of these movies, but a lot of movies about humans are better. True. Like the original Jurassic Park, where probably the most interesting part of that film is the humans in that film.
We just had Godzilla -1. It's just there's no excuse for this. People are bored of boring humans. That's what we just saw in Jurassic World Afterbirth. That could have been a great movie, but they had no character. Character is king. It'll carry you through the shittiest plots if you have a character you're invested in. But these movies just forget that. And the idea that you can't make a dinosaur interesting is just strictly a skill issue. I'll say it again and again. You don't need to put wings on raptors. You don't need to put a giant zit on a fucking Monstersaurus, whatever the fuck that thing was. Just write it with some level of intelligence and respect. How about this? Watch the fucking first one and try better than what we just fucking saw. Because I just don't know how you could watch that movie and then make this with the budget that they had.
Well, it's like Godzilla -1. Godzilla isn't the cool thing. He is cool, but the best thing is the actual main character.
Exactly. Godzilla was a force of nature. It wasn't just us being bored waiting for the big lizard to pop up. I remember legit telling myself, like, holy fuck, I'm getting to a Godzilla movie to the end, and I'm like, I am so on board with the humans. I want them to fuck this thing up and like figure out, you know what I mean? Like, I hope these nerds figure out the plan to drag it to the bottom of the ocean. I was so fucking down for that plan. Like, come on, win! Like, I can't believe you got me so on board to taking this creature down, where I thought I'd be rooting for Godzilla the whole time, where I was in this movie. Like, just eat the family and like end movie, please.
But remember, Jedi Brooks, that you're not allowed to compliment -1, because if you compliment -1, that makes you a tourist, and tourists are bad. The Monsterverse is the true Godzilla, say the retards in that fan base.
The best Godzilla movie I've ever seen. One of the best monster movies I've ever watched. Get the fuck out of here. That movie deserves its flowers.
To Supernova. Godzilla in space.
What are they doing? Why does he have an infinity glove? Like, what is he doing? It's just, what the fuck? It's so, you had it. It was all right there. -1. This is the chosen one. And they fucked it up.
We're going to have Iron Man, King Kong, and fucking Mecha Godzilla in space.
Throw Vader in. We're going to have Vader and Iron Man try to take on King Kong and Godzilla. Like, that's 2029. That's our future, man.
Who owns the monster? Is the Monsterverse a Universal thing?
Yeah.
Because so is the Jurassic World stuff's also Universal, right? And like in Afterbirth, there's this weird random bit where they go into this cave and it's like a temple for dinosaurs. And someone says, is this some kind of temple? And then it never comes up again, which kind of reminds me a bit of Skull Island. So I'm wondering, the studio owns both of them. It's getting progressively more retarded. Maybe there's just a crossover event coming. It'll be Retardosaurus versus Godzilla in space will be the next one.
Not?
Jurassic Monsterverse Godzilla X-1000 supernova in space with Kong and the movie. Yeah, that'll be great.
And the retarded Saurus says, I pet my dog too hard.
We need his voice. We need his voice. It would sound just like that. I still can't believe how much of a part of the marketing that stupid pimple thing was, and it really didn't do anything. Like, I barely remember its scenes. It was just there.
It didn't even kill the black guy at the very end of the movie. He was an inch away from his face.
He should have died.
And then he just gets away. With his flare, and I'm like, hang on a second, the flare is what attracts it. So how the fuck does it not
just draw it back?
Secret second flare. That's how it works. And the fact that he distracted it with one flare and brought it to him means that it didn't go after him when he used the second flare.
So dumb.
It was so clearly as well. It was so set up for him to die that you don't have characters take out photos of their dead kids and not have them die. It's just conventional movie telling rules. It's like someone saying they're going to retire in 2 days. They're going to die. But then they do it. They set it up so he's going to die. Then you think he's going to die. But then he comes back. And I think it's just because they want him back for a sequel. And I think they want Scarjo back for the sequel as well.
I think he died. And it's like a reshoot or something. Like they had the emotional music. He's like, save the kids. Forget about me. It was like, for him not to die is a complete waste of that payoff. And it makes it stupider to keep him alive with the flares. How do you distract it with flares, but then not attract it with flares when it shouldn't be that far away? The movie is stupid on so many levels, but somehow still forgettable. It's not like Dominion that like lives rent free in my head. where I can picture Chris Pratt using the Force to stop the fucking dinosaurs and shit, and all the dumb crap in that movie. It's so fucking
about that.
Yeah, watch my fucking video, Reaper. That fucking I kept that Force joke the entire time. Why are they using the Force? Why is Chris Pratt as the Force? It's so stupid.
He should have done a Charles Xavier when he puts 2 fingers to his temples and starts like mind reading.
That's all it was missing. Him fucking telepathy. But with this movie, it's like I'm already forgetting it completely. So what would you like? I was going to ask you this, you specifically, Platoon, because I just know we've always had the same opinion on Dominion. Which one would you rather rewatch a month from now, Dominion or this?
Dominion, because it's funny.
Exactly. I can't believe we're sitting here like Dominion is somehow aged. Like it's still awful. It's TLJ for dinosaurs, but I'd much rather rewatch that again. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, there seems to be 2 movies. It's either boring and forgettable or apps a car crash, basically. They're the only 2 modes Jurassic World has. So boring and shit that you don't remember it in a week. Nobody's gonna remember this film.
It's the Nutsa quote that I like. It should actually be like written in stone at this point. You either get the Force Awakens or the Last Jedi, like pretty much. And Dominion is TLJ, where it's just this crazy experimental bullshit. And this was more boring than the Force Awakens. Like it was like a shit Force Awakens. Is how I felt about this movie.
Golster 1908 for €10. Retardosaur kind of sounds like my spirit animal. I agree. Many people's like, spirit animal.
It sounds like if the Power Rangers had to include some disabled people. Because pterodactyl, Tyrannosaurus, Retardosaurus. It starts limping along on 3 legs.
That's what I feel like. How was that scarier? How did it, like? I think we've had 3 attempts at this now. We had the laser dinosaurs, we had the Indominus Rex that would teleport or disappearing, and now we have this Pimple Man. How have any of them been scarier?
In Dominion, you had those fucking, what were they called? Those little birds.
The locusts.
Yeah, the locusts.
The flaming locusts.
Yeah,
they were only for one scene. That scene only it's funny, that locust scene. You know why that locust scene exists? A lot of people forget. The only reason that locust scene happens is to get our heroes back together. The locusts go and knock the car down the hill. The hill rolls down the hill, and then suddenly our heroes are reconnected. They couldn't think of a way to get the 2 parties back together, and that was how they did it. That's the only purpose of the locusts.
Wasn't the reason for them being made to begin with? It's like Biosyn engineered locusts to eat all crops in the world not made by Biosyn. Okay.
I can't.
And shock horror, it went wrong, and they all caught fire for some reason, and they didn't kill them.
Just can't with that film.
There's so many smarter ways to just go, we'll just ban foreign imports. Like, you don't have to engineer fucking these dinosaurs. It's like, they go, we could just easily, with a little bit of money, influence Congress. No, we'll fucking engineer weapons of mass destruction just to get the stock price up.
Yep. They have to do the stupidest thing imaginable in all these movies. It's crazy.
It's like Fallout. We'll blow up the world so we can get a little bit more money. Go, just money's worthless now, you stupid bastards.
Full hard for $5. Platoon, I'm from the US, being stuck in Paris due to airline strikes. I'm so sorry to hear that anyone is stuck in Paris. I'll be in London tomorrow. I'm also so sorry to hear that anybody goes to London. What's the best beer and food to order? You're welcome to join us. Well, thank you for the invitation. I have so many things to do. I am nowhere near London at the moment. I'm also not like a big beer drinker or food eater, and everything in London is expensive. So I don't really know. Like Abbott is an okay ale if you don't want to spend massive amounts, I guess. I don't know if anyone here is a bigger UK beer drinker than me who has better opinions.
Not really. I just drink Guinness. I mean, not all the time, but you can't go wrong with Guinness. It's a stout.
Yeah, it's a good shout.
Where would you go? And like, because the only real place I go is Wetherspoons because it's cheap. You get cheap food, and that's basically it. But it's not like I'll go to London and eat a Wetherspoons. That's like a fucking. That's a disappointment. That's a step down. You do that to save money.
Do you guys have Blanche de Chamblay? Do you have Blanche de Chamblay over there? It's a
what is that French sounding nonsense?
Blanche de Chamblay. It's It's a French craft beer, but it's definitely one of my favorites. An easy recommendation for almost anyone.
Now, we have a Foster's, which is advertised as an Australian drink that no Australian actually drinks. My friend went down to Australia because he's got family there, and he says, yeah, they don't sell Foster's. It's all a lie.
It's just fakery. Hobgoblin, I think I remember having a Hobgoblin and thinking that's not bad. But honestly, yeah, like Weatherspoons I actually prefer to most London bars. London bars are expensive and full of pretentious twats. Weatherspoons is like, it's what the pub used to be before everything gentrified. And the food is okay and it's really cheap, so you can get more booze. That's the recommendation. Go visit Weatherspoons.
I went to London and I went to a Weatherspoons. That's the highlight.
Filthy Casual for $5. I hate how the theme is used. In Jurassic Park 1, it is used to convey a sense of awe at something new. In this, dinosaurs are boring and 2 people have been killed by them.
The long neck scene where they just suddenly were next to them and they were having the amazement scene that has to be shoved into every Jurassic Park movie since the first one. That actually just made me cringe out of my skin. Like, you can't do this scene again. There's that works in the first one because it's a mix of our awe and Alan and Grant's awe at the same time. We're all mesmerized. The audience, we're having a moment, but they keep fucking repeating it to the point where it's meaningless now. It's like it's so fucking cringe.
It's supposed to tell the Brachiosaurus scene, obviously, like, yeah, it is the wonder of the audience is that, but it's like the expressions tell you basically everything you need to know going forward about each of the characters because they all react differently. It's an important character scene.
Yes,
because like Alan Grant is overawed, doesn't really know what to make of it. Ellie Sattler is overawed and enthusiastic because she needs to sort of be disillusioned later. Ian Malcolm is like, what the fuck have you done? The lawyer is seeing dollar signs, and John Hammond is the kid who wants to show them the next fun thing because he doesn't take things seriously. Like, every reaction is there for a reason, and they all feed into the characters as they're deployed later. So, but now the same scene is in every subsequent movie. It's just bigger and it's longer, and there are no characters there,
and it's
so
meaningless.
Stupid.
Meaningless every single time. The one in Dominion I thought pissed me off the most because it was the stupid dinosaur again walking across the street and they're having all the flares to remind you of the first movie, and like they're in harmony with traffic, which is fucking nonsense. But it's just contrived ways of having this fucking mesmerized scene when none of them should be mesmerized if they're so used to these dinosaurs that they disrupt traffic. It should not be a shocking thing anymore, but they have to repeat it every single time. It's so fucking pathetic. This movie is actually embarrassing.
Oh, Cynic is apparently back in the back end and saying that we're not being fast enough. So fucking come here and
get your ass back here then. Where'd you go?
Fuck you. Okay.
Welcome back.
Where are we at here?
Filthy. I also hated how the theme was used. Every time it came on, I was like, shut up. Just remind me of the first one. So I'm with you.
Boosh, God created dinosaurs. God kills dinosaurs. God creates man. Man creates dinosaurs. Dinosaurs eat man. Woman inherits the earth. Actual.
Another line we got great character from, and it was in line with the people they've established. Yeah.
Oh,
what you can do when you have characters.
This made you cringe, Reaper.
There you go.
Gay. I will take it as homo. You are a homo.
As the gayest comment we've ever gotten. Take it as that.
How dare you express your feelings?
Gary Barber, Jurassic World 5 Enlightenment. Pedro Pascal plays both the protagonist scientist and the evil man capitalist as twins
and the
chasing after
dinosaurs.
The elusive best of Allosaurus.
Yeah, he's going to be the T-Rex as well. Don't forget.
Echoes of the Ancients. So, as a woman, I've been wondering, is Florence Pugh attractive to you guys out there or not? But yes.
She's so hot that people don't fucking judge her movies correctly. They're all, you know what I mean? Like, fucking shit. Black Widow and Midsommar are fucking terrible, but she is a great actress, so it's distracting.
Yeah. And she's good.
She's really cute. She's got an unbelievably round head that somehow works for her. Yes, like not many humans could pull off a head that round. It's incredible.
Compliment.
It is. But she's
Big
also got a
T.
face where, like, I could see people calling her ugly. I could see people calling her gorgeous. She just has one of those faces, you know?
What's that?
It's take it or leave it, man.
What's that Anya Taylor-Joy where on angles she looks good and on angles she looks like an alien?
On the angles where you can't tell where she had surgery to remove buccal fat, she looks fine.
In The Northman, she was freaking me out, man. She's so distracting. Like her eyes were just like getting wider apart with every scene. I don't know. It's just so true. There's a Seinfeld episode where Jerry is dating a girl that constantly looks either ugly as hell or hot, and he's like, he never knows what she's gonna look like when he glances over, and that's what she reminds me of. It's just a complete coin flip.
You look like a lollipop. This is a pickup line.
Big T, did any of y'all see the Brave New World Huxley Not Marvel show on Peacock? Young Solo played John Savage.
I feel like I've seen a couple of episodes of it, but I don't remember it.
Wasn't very good.
We didn't comment.
Sorry.
Go ahead. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
It was just people fucking each other for half the series. And then everyone goes mad and kills each other at the end.
I don't think we commented enough on this stream how fucking Ehrenreich, he went from Han Solo to Riri Simp. Like one of the greatest downfalls in casting you'll ever see. Like imagine how he thought his life was set. I'm fucking Han Solo. I'm playing one of the coolest characters ever.
He's getting kicked in the balls by Riri Williams.
Now he's getting his nuts fucking.
Oh god, I forgot. She shuts him down by a kick to the balls.
So stupid.
Richard Shaft, I'm still watching the EFAP. So much long content.
There is a lot. There's more to come. Superman is coming out.
Yeah, watching EFAP must be like watching porn. There's just never ending. You can't ever catch up on all the porn.
Can't get enough.
No, you can't catch up on
chasing that dragon.
It's possible.
Echoes of the Ancients. Okay, it's official. Guys think Florence Pugh is okay, but they'd rather have Sydney Sweeney.
Yeah,
she's pretty cool, man. Like she's nice tits. She's like, I think the big appeal to Sweeney is that she's clearly down to earth. She's not this gorgeous supermodel, but being down to earth gets you an extra 2-3 points instantly. It's just how it works.
Man, I would use her tits like a speed bag and go.
Be dripping in sweat like Rocky, fucking Rocky Ford dripping.
I'd be like a brother going.
She's got some glorious fucking fun bags. We'll give her that, and those are always sweet.
Man, you could jump on them like a trampoline.
Just smack them, smother her.
Tony says, I won't see Fantastic Four in theaters, but I will see Superman, not because I prefer DC, but because I have hope. Until Endgame, I always went to the cinema. Until Endgame? Shit.
Yeah, I guess after that point, I mean, Endgame's a bit of a dodgy movie itself, but after that, like, why spend money on Marvel?
I'm interpreting that as he watched Infinity War and it said, fuck it. He didn't even watch Endgame. I think that's the correct ending. Thanos won. Just ignore the rest.
Well, they defend him and go, well, Thanos is an immigrant.
Oh, fuck off. Fuck off.
Well, it's true. He's on Earth. He's an immigrant.
Did anyone else feel bad for Thanos in Endgame when he was just farming his turnips and shit, and then Captain Marvel's got in like a fucking headlock and they're all ganging up on him? I don't know why. That didn't they didn't have the effect that I thought it would have. I almost was rooting for him. Like
it's like bullying an old man. He's beaten up. He's like, please.
He's washed up. He's burnt. He's retired, and you guys are just strangling him on his own farm. Like, yeah, I was totally on board with Thanos.
Chris 1306, Epstein didn't kill himself and Kennedy's head just did that.
Oh, I thought you meant Kathleen Kennedy.
Potato, the little platoon out here ruining a perfectly good conspiracy theory. Let people have fun. That was for a North Korean 50, by the way.
Oh, North Korean 50.
Mm-hmm.
There's a double. He's trying to mislead us into thinking that I was right.
10
conspiracy theories aren't conspiracies.
It's worth 10 crickets.
Oh,
have you seen like the one light in North Korea? That's him. It's Kim Jong-un. He's watching us right now. The only guy with a computer.
It is a problem because you never know what is a genuine conspiracy and what is just the result of the fact we have a retardation crisis in basically every field in the world at this point. Yep. So many people are so incredibly stupid that lots of really stupid stuff looks like a conspiracy, and it's sometimes hard to tell the difference.
Bonesaw is ready. Recently watched 12 Angry Men due to Brooks. The morals and viewpoints in that almost 70-year-old film are less dated than the ones in Ironheart.
True.
It's a must watch. Everyone should watch that movie if you're a fan of film. Just
I still haven't.
yeah,
I've got it.
really. It's honestly, when you consider how simple it is, there's not a lot of room for plot holes or inconsistencies and whatnot. It's one of the best written movies ever because it's just 10 guys in a room having a discussion, and it's unbelievably compelling, even though it's like 60 years old. I was in high school, my teacher made me watch it, and I was the first person in the class to say, "What the hell is this?" Like, I just know. But then I was so blown away, I immediately went home and watched it with my sister. It's one of those ones. It's easy recommend for any film buff.
Big T again. What do y'all think will be carried over from original MCU to the new one post Secret Wars?
Fantastic Four.
Yep.
Hugh
Tom
Jackman.
Holland, Spider-Man.
Maybe.
Hopefully
Yeah.
Riri.
New trilogy, I guess. Yeah.
Hopefully She-Hulk,
Riri.
I want Gaia. Return of Gaia. We can't just create her. We need Amelia Clark. The return of fucking. What the hell is that character, man? I don't know. There's so many things they have to leave behind.
Which did Marvel have more faith in, Echo or Ironheart? Ironheart, because they gave that 2 weeks. Instead of one.
Yeah, they had more faith in Ironheart, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Echo.
They had Ryan Coogler talking about it. Yeah, they definitely did. Hey, I'm worried about the MCU's take on Johnny Blaze. Wonder if we'll look back more fondly on the 05 Fantastic Four or the Nick Cage Ghost Rider movies. They weren't perfect, but they had a certain charm. It did. Well, the Ghost Rider ones did, for sure.
Well, look, this movie made me appreciate The Lost World and Jurassic Park 3 a little bit more, just because they're still shit, but I don't remember rooting for the dinosaurs in that movie. Like, there was still something to, at least, there's still characters here and there. There's something, but it's gotten completely vapid.
DSP Historical Society says to you, Platoon, I really, really hope you don't go full Mauler. Your videos are far too good for that. But just a thanks for episode 2 of Ironheart.
What does that mean?
Welcome.
What does that mean?
I don't know what that means, but
well, some people I think choose to interpret whenever Mauler announces, for instance, that he's working on like a really, really long video, which he's done at the end of every evap stream, that he's not making videos, which kind of suggests that they haven't actually listened to him when he said he's making videos.
Yeah, that's frustrating.
So, yeah, like his video is already like twice as long as anything I've done, and I don't think there's any indication that it's getting any shorter anytime soon. So these things take time.
That's fucking insane. His next plans.
Sean Calloway, I don't understand Marvel's particular brand of stupidity, but I do admire their total commitment to it.
Good way to put it.
Yep. Intent matters. Bedazzled did a better deal with the devil concept than this shit. I remember.
I've not seen it,
but I remember, but I don't. I remember seeing Bedazzled.
That's why I mentioned Berserk and Usher. There's probably a whole list of things you can mention that did it better than this.
Touchpad. As a person from Sweden, I'm still so confused over how Norse mythology became superheroes. Looks cool.
Cultural appropriation.
We took that shit.
And then Big you have Russell Crowe in a skirt as Zeus.
Yeah. Big
T. Chris Hemsworth.
You have total creative freedom to work on any of these MCU characters. You have to acknowledge their past appearances. Pick one.
Oh,
Cassie, She-Hulk, Echo, Ironheart, Gaia, in any Eternal.
I feel like all the Eternals are just blank slates, so I'd be happy to work with any of them because I don't remember fuck all about what they did.
One of them was in a dress, played by the Joker in the Batman, the newest one.
Oh,
the Irish guy in Banshees of Inisherin, which is not very specific because they're all Irish. But I go Riri and make it worse.
I'd be interested in a full rewrite for Riri, but if we're using her with her history now, it's already fucked. Like you can't fix it.
I'd have her drinking blood of children.
That's what I mean. Unless we're gonna literally make her a psychopath and lean into that. I don't know what we're gonna do.
Epstein's Island. That's what she does.
Thunderstorm, Supergun, slow-moving train wreck keeps getting worse somehow. Amazing. What will they screw up next?
Whatever the next thing is.
Supergirl.
Yeah. Supergirl.
Or Lanterns.
Fantastic Four. Paul Connolly, hail BSUP. Question for the panel: which do you consider the worst Jurassic Park sequel? For me, it's Fallen Kingdom. Till then, I'd never felt madder watching a movie.
It's Dominion.
I still think Dominion, just above Fallen Kingdom.
Dominion.
I think it goes Dominion, Fallen Kingdom, then it's between Afterbirth and the original Jurassic World.
I don't even remember the
decide
first Jurassic World.
It's so retarded. I watched
Yeah.
it for prep, and I'd forgotten how stupid that film is.
Yeah. Like this Afterbirth might slip past these ones just because nothing happens. There's just less to like. It's so boring. I'll tell you this. I'd rather rewatch any of the worlds than Afterbirth. Like
That is a point, actually, because it genuinely might be as stupid as the Snickers thing is.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if the overall movie is as stupid as the first Jurassic World. I mean, the first Jurassic World has them go into a dinosaur enclosure to check if the dinosaur is still there.
Yeah.
Rather than check the computer and see if it's still there.
That's what I mean.
Then it has, like, the kids just go off rails because people can just do that.
And the Jeep that just magically works.
The Jeep that magically works, the cheap sentimentality, Indian John Hammond crashes into an atrium in his helicopter because the pilot got sick or something. I don't fucking know.
You know what? You've actually, just from that alone, Afterbirth is better. It's so vapid just through default. It kind of.
I think I hate it more because it's empty, but it's and it's not as funny. But yeah, on just on its own merits, it's probably not as bad.
Yeah.
User 5573. I heard there was Superman drama about a deleted scene where the villain kicks or hits Crypto. Yeah, I heard that too.
Should have kept that.
Yeah,
should have. Yeah,
he's invincible. He'll be fine.
Ruddy, word is Gunn subverted expectations, and in the movie, Superman destroys abortion clinics, fights for Second Amendment rights, and patrols the U.S.-Mexico border.
That would be funny. I'd like to see that film.
Be pretty funny. Angry Sparrow sent a super sticker that I cannot see, but it is appreciated. Touchpad again says, "Here's a bit of sympathy." SCKs as thanks for your sacrifice of watching this trash that we don't have to.
Thank you. It is appreciated.
Toivo says, yes, it's Barbie.
Wait.
Oh, yay. Nice.
I remembered my own video.
Dragon Balls D says, a bad Zack Snyder film is the most redundant oxymoron I've ever heard, followed closely by the implication Disparu has functioning taste buds.
Oh, getting strays. Catching strays.
And the final super chat is from Potato. Would have liked Dark Hour to be here, but cast opinion on Darkest Hour. Watched it last week after seeing a bunch of clips and found it real enjoyable.
Is that the Winston Churchill one?
Is that with Gary Oldman playing Winston Churchill?
I think so.
I just remember thinking he shouts too much. I don't remember anything else about the film.
He's good, isn't it? That's all I remember. He's really good.
One more crops up from Imperial Fist Stan. We were told that it's boring isn't fair criticism. Mostly joking. LOL. What is the difference in your opinion?
The difference is, I think we went over this quite exhaustively, saying it's boring if you don't know what happened isn't fair criticism. If you can't recount the events of the film and you say that it's boring, that is because you didn't engage with the film. If you can relate step by step exactly what happens, and you can confidently say and provide evidence that it is an empty pile of shit that doesn't need to exist, where there are no characters and no drama, then it is fair, I think, to call it boring. So it's whether or not the boring criticism can be substantiated, not the use of the word boring.
Yeah,
that references would be my recollection.
References is extremely important. Otherwise, you're just describing your feelings, and your feelings might not match other people's. So it's really important to actually have a discussion, not just say I was bored, therefore it was bad. You know.
That does it for the super chats, though. But do not fret because BSUP doesn't end.
It never ends. I'm never going to leave. I'm just going to be streaming for the rest of my fucking life.
But you established today that you're AI. You just admitted you don't even eat. I don't know if anyone else wants to fucking slip that one in. I don't really eat food, y'all, so I don't know how to recommend it.
Starting next week, I will set it up, or we will set it up because it requires you as well, Platoon.
I have set it up.
Oh,
I pressed a button, which I think will mean it functions. I think.
Oh, that would be cool. Maybe when we click end, it'll raid the next stream. Then I don't know. But either way, I'm going to put it in the comments or in the in the chat here. BSUP After Dark #2. I don't know. We had fun the last time we did it, so we're going to do it again. We're just going to hang out. Last time it was to celebrate my 200K thing, and now we're just going to hang out.
It is funny how After Dark implies we're going to get more serious, but we already talked about Epstein, Harvey Weinstein.
I know.
Oh,
shit. A little bit more cussing. How to make the distinction. Fuck it, it's a cool name.
It's a cool name. So yeah, I don't even know what we're doing, but we're just gonna chat it up. So we will see you guys over there.
How does this work? Because normally at this point we do the whole, what were you working on? What were you working on?
I know, that's why I was like, but we're gonna keep talking. So do we do that?
Do you do it now? Do you do it?
I guess we do it now, because like theoretically, if we have a guest next time, but they can't do After Dark, then we'd need to give them. So I guess we still plug our shit here.
Yeah,
okay,
makes sense.
This is a well-planned show, as you can tell, ladies and gentlemen.
Well planned.
It's kind of why it works.
Jedi Brooks, what are you working on at the moment?
Yeah. I am continuing my assault on Riri Williams because she sucks. She sucks so much, and I fucking told you 2 years ago I called that shit. For all the people who said you can't talk about her, it's not her movie. Shut up. Shut up. Now that we have her show, eat your fucking words, because she was crap then. She's even worse now. Now she's a psychopath in addition to being crap. So I've got at least one more Riri video coming out, another comparison directly to Tony Stark, and because I don't want to have that conversation come up. I want it to be a direct defense for anyone who wants to mention, oh, but Tony did this, blah, 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 blah. No, he's a significantly better character in many different ways. And I want to go over the writing reasons as to why I compare them directly to Riri, because I can't stand that character. So at least one more Ironheart video, and then I'll go from there.
Reaper, what are you doing?
Well, I plan to do Ironheart and Jurassic World, but I know me. So by the time I start working on them, Superman will be out. I'll drop it for that. By the time I'm working on that, Fantastic Four will be out. So we'll see.
Geez.
Well, fucking who knows? I don't even know.
Some video at some point. Cynic,
Maybe.
what is coming up for you?
I don't know if I'm gonna review Jurassic World or not.
Same.
But yeah, I just released my part 2 of Ironheart, and that covers the rest of the show. So after that, Superman for sure. Definitely reviewing Superman. So I don't maybe Jurassic World and Superman, but at least one video.
I can't pronounce that name, but thank you, Vedsilla. How do you say that? But
Vedsilla?
Thank you, Vedsilla. There we go. Appreciate it. Worked hard on that.
And what about you, Platoon? What are you
doing? There's probably a little second channel mini, because I did an Ironheart Tony Stark comparison for the next Ironheart video, but then I don't want the Ironheart videos to be really long, so I've cut it out of that video, and it's probably going to go up separately. Then there'll be Ironheart 3. These things have taken, for some fucking reason, ages to get through copyright each time. Like the last one took a week. I don't understand. Disney used to be good, but no, not anymore. So I don't know if I'll wrap the last 3 episodes into one more video rather than doing them individually. I might do that instead. We will see. And then Jurassic World, Dominion, fucking Afterbirth will be worked on alongside, and hopefully will be out tentatively at the end of the week, which means the end of the month. Yeah, more stuff is most definitely coming.
Yeah. We also get 2 more super chats, because of course Echo Chamberlain trying to keep us here all night. Last super, what are each of your top 50 favorite videos?
No,
I'm dying for a piss as well.
Top 50? What the hell?
Top 50. Imperial Fistin also says top 20 Mount Rushmores of entertainment. Go.
Oh, Jesus.
Holy
I need
Christ.
the toilet.
It's got to pee. Got to pee.
All right, we'll end the stream, but we'll also continue the stream.
Yes.
Over on my channel.
It should auto redirect to Cynic stream. If it does not do that, the link will be in the chat. So you can click it yourself, you lazy fucks. We might see some of you over there. Bye-bye.
Peace.
Fuck you.